Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
Rishikesh. Yes.
Because I have a doubt regarding that the one where you have told me that the maximum calculation for that the formula, where the maximum value we are calculate how that you have shown, but there is no any formula regarding that the minimum and average value for calculating.
Let me show you. Is this the first sheet you are talking about? Is this
Yeah, business math,
okay?
the 4 point.
Uh-huh.
Max, minimum and average.
Okay.
In that, for minimum and average, how can that calculate the alternative?
It's a simple
Through
thing.
alternative.
No, not alternative, not alternative. See, that doesn't mean to worry. See, for this is what the data and technically everybody suggests for this. But how this max formula is going to act like a alternative option where you can reduce your formula length to the minimum level. That's what I told you. So the question is, in this particular set of data, if you happen to apply average, you can go on to average over here like this. Not as an alternative, you can do like that. Or if you want to go for minimum of this, you can go for minimum formula, you can go and apply. So that is for the practice purpose, we have kept it over here. But technically, not the alternative option through minimum or average, we can get the answer.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Right. So to continue from our day one, whatever we have done up to this goal seek. Yes. So we have discussed about the data analytical tool of our Excel, how to use it in our routine work and satisfying all these two validation rules. The data must be formula driven. And when I go for data what if analysis and goal seek, the goal seek set cell should be the objective cell, which must contain a formula. So I can select any cell as objective cell, but that must contain a formula. So these are the two rules, basic rules we have to satisfy all the time when you go for a goal seek. So today we'll be starting with the next sheet is called data clean 1. So kindly confirm everybody has got the same sheet open on their respective screen. Why for yes? All right. Now, let me take you through the data. Let me put it in a story format so everybody can connect with this. Most of the time, what it happens, friends, when we receive our data from our stakeholders, customers, vendors, or internally from any other department too, most of the time we've received the data with some kind of errors. What kind of errors? Like hash NA, hash value, hash reference, hash null, hash division, all these kind of errors, many more places. And that actually technically creates a lot of curiosity in us that to know why there are so many errors. And what we do, just we take some random cases and we go back to the source data to find out the necessary reasons behind such kind of errors. And what we do at the end of our exercise, that these errors are because of some data absence or format incompatibility or case sensitivity. So technically these are not playing any role. And what we do, we ignore it and we send it across to the next level. So there the problem starts. And how and what kind of problem? Now suppose say I have sent the file to my boss. Now my boss is watching my data and looking at the errors. He asked very first question to me, Prabhas, why there are so many errors? Now what happens? I would be somewhere in the middle of some other work. I have to leave and I have to attend the question, whatever my superior is asking to me. And I have to explain all these necessary reasons, but still he's not convinced. What he's saying, no, if that is the case, then the errors also has to be uniform. But why there are different varieties of errors? Then I have no idea. And I don't understand also how to explain it. So in this case, entire whole story, what we discussed, my friends, when I am explaining to my boss, this is unwanted, a duplication of work. But unless and until he is convinced, he is not going to leave me also. That is also we know very well. But in this case, when I'm explaining, my quality time is being spent over here. But who is held responsible for that? My time is being wasted, right? But who is the reason behind it? Is it me or is it my boss who is having unwanted questions? What do you say, being a neutral person, being an audience? Anybody? Two things. Is it the mistake of my boss or is it the mistake of mine?
Well, definitely not the boss.
Because boss
I mean,
is
there are
always right.
mistakes
Because boss
in
is
the
always
sheet.
right.
I mean, there are mistakes in the sheet.
Okay, so can I blame to that person who has sent me the data? Because somebody has to take the responsibility. If my boss is not wrong, it is not his mistake. He is having unwanted question. If it is not his mistake, or it is not the mistake of mine, is it the mistake of the person who has sent the data to me? Can I blame him? Can I give this kind of excuses to my superior?
Like, guess it's about cleaning the sheet rather than blaming it on someone.
Right. That is what we know. The end of the day, we should have done, but we did not do it. That's why this kind of situation is arising in front of us. Correct? So now I'm asking very simple question. In this juncture, whose mistake is there? Because time is being wasted. Though I am doing it or my boss is doing it, at the end of the day, the quality time for the organizations is being spent unwantedly. Of course, it is my mistake. Yeah. So person who has created the sheet, Anuradha, I cannot blame it because when it has released from my sent items, I am the owner, I am the responsible person. So I cannot give an excuse that, okay, the data source is like that, and I got the data from accounts team like this, or I got the data from factory like this. I cannot give this kind of lame excuses to anybody. Trust me. So in this case, it is not the mistake of my boss. The time, whatever I am spending over here, unwanted or duplication of work, this is the mistake of mine. Why? Because what we have understood, the moment I receive my data with errors, it was my duty to replace all these errors with some kind of predefined text, 0, hyphen, nil, not available, not applicable. Then only I could have stopped people asking questions unwantedly like this. So this is what I did not do. So whole story, hope you have understood. The same thing, we have the situation right now. In this, you see, we have a huge data. Keep your cursor anywhere in the database, go for Control A. Now, wherever those errors are there, like hash division, hash name, hash reference, all these varieties of errors, our objective is to replace them with a text called NA, to replace the errors with a text called NA. So here, how will I do that? That is what our objective. Okay. So can somebody give me the best opinion on this? What we can do or what we are doing actually if this kind of situation comes? Do we opt for find and replace? Yeah. Yes. So find and replace, if I go for it, yes, absolutely, Anju, Control H, that is the shortcut for find and replace. But if I go for find and replace, just stay focused on my audio. I have to repeat this find and replace process because one time, one type of error only can be handled in our find and replace procedure. I have got varieties of errors. So that many times I have to roll out this activity or the task will be recurring in nature of the find and replace. And that is what we cannot afford time over here. So what is the best option? What we can do over here? Let's discuss. After selecting the data, on your keyboard, press Ctrl G, G for gamma, or F5. So F5 or Ctrl G will be giving you a dialog box naming called Go To. And there is a tab called Special. There is a tab called Special. You can click that. And when you click it, it will take you to another dialog box naming called Go To Special. There we have an option from the left, second one, naming constants. I repeat, select constants. And once you select constants, immediately you'll be finding there are other options like numbers, text, logicals will be activated. So you got to deactivate numbers, text, logicals. You should not deactivate errors because that is what we are trying to identify. So errors must be in selection, constant must be selection, rest of checkboxes to be deactivated. And with this, the moment I go and click OK, I'll be getting from the entire Excel sheet, whatever the data we had, only error-driven cells are alone in selection. Now, leave your mouse, leave your touchpad, immediately type NA. Wherever it is typing, don't bother, don't worry. But if you're really interested to see, look at your formula bar of the window. Is it typing NA? Yes. Only thing is you have to press Control Enter. So when you press Control Enter, you'll be finding all these error-driven cells are now replaced with the desired text called NA. And this is the best way to handle all the text-driven errors in any Excel file by using the command Control G or go to Special, Constants, and deactivating text, logical, number, having all the errors in selection, going for OK, then type Control Enter. But one more thing, do not ever forget to do for better understanding of the audience side is having the selection like this, go to Home tab and finally don't forget to color them. And why you need to color them? Because it is essential. Tomorrow when you open the file, you should recollect, you should remember what is the treatment you have given over here, why NA is coming into the picture. So below to the data, you can write a footnote or legend stating that the yellow colored cells were error-driven cells and we replaced with NA. So anybody, whoever is watching your data also, he can make out this is what the treatment you have given to the text-driven errors. So this is called our error treatment or text-driven error, how to manage the things in our Excel file we have understood. Hope everybody is getting now all the errors replaced with NA text.
Prabhas, I am having some problem. Can I share my screen?
Please do that, not an issue.
Can you see?
Not yet, Nakul. Did you share your, yeah, it's getting loaded. Yeah, I can see now. Yes. Go to
Okay.
Excel, go to Excel.
Yeah, I am at Excel only. Can you see?
No, not yet, Nakul. I can see only your Microsoft Teams screen.
I guess it's lagging then. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, you go to Excel, go to Excel.
I am into Excel right now. I am into Excel.
Can
Okay,
you just,
can you
yeah,
can you do it again actually? Because when I'm trying to do NA, it is only reflecting at one particular cell, not all.
yes, because you have gone for enter. I told you Control Enter. That is the only
I have
difference.
done Control Enter also. Can you show it once more maybe?
Yeah, I can do that, not issue. So let me take the control back on the screen.
Yeah.
See, I have first step selected all the data. Then I have gone for F5 or Control G. Then I clicked Special. Then I choose Constants. Then I removed numbers, text, logicals. And when I click OK, I can see only error-driven cells are alone in selection, correct?
Correct.
Now I just type immediately NA. Wherever it is typing, don't worry. But after typing NA, go for Control Enter. And all these error-driven cells will be replaced with your NA text.
Let me try.
Yeah. And finally, do not forget to color them. That's what I told you last objective. Yes, Rajesh, I have repeated. Hope that works.
Sir, how can I select all at a time, single color?
No, it was in selection only. After that, you have to do. See, the moment you replace with NA and Control Enter, after Control Enter, you should not go and click somewhere else. See, all these cells are in selection only. Gray color cells, can you see that? These cells are already in selection. So only thing is going to home and choose this yellow color, that fill color option over here. Go for fill color and choose like this. So I believe everybody is getting the same. Anybody still having the problem in getting it done? Okay, so Nakul and Amrit, they have confirmed. Tushar also confirmed. How about the others people? Please quickly help me. Okay, Anju and Myris too. Great. Salini also. Okay.
Prabhasji,
G.
I just wanted to ask you one thing,
Mm-hmm.
that there are some cells which are blank, like there is no number to it, like not even a zero.
Right.
So for those cells, like should those cells
We are
be
going
blank
to.
only?
We, no, 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 no. We are going to do the treatment. Don't worry. Let's go step by step.
Okay. Yes, yes.
Right. So the first treatment regarding the error-driven cells, how to manage the same and how to replace the error-driven cells with a quick output over here like NA, and we can stop people asking unwanted questions. We have understood. So similarly, let's give a hands-on practice. If you see in this piece of data, again, there are many more cells having blanks. So our objective is those blank cells are to be replaced with a text called nil, N-I-L. So for that, kindly select the entire data, keeping the cursor anywhere in the data set, Control A, same F5, go to dialog box or Control G, then go for spatial, and there is an option called blanks. You can see there is an option called blanks. So you got to select the blanks option. And once you select the blanks option and click OK, with immediate effect, you'll be finding from the entire data sets, only the blank cells are alone in selection. And leave your mouse, leave your touchpad, immediately type what is the text we are expecting as output, nil, N-I-L. Wherever it is typing, don't worry. But if you're really interested to know, I told you, look at your formula bar, you will be finding nil is being typed. And with this, go for Control Enter. And when you go for Control Enter, don't do any other further clicks, just watch your screen. All these blank cells are now replaced with a text called nil. But I told you in the previous case as well, to differentiate properly, go to Home tab, color them with some different colors. And below to the report, you can type a legend over here stating the green colored cells were having the blank cells replaced with nil. The yellow colored cells having the errors in place replaced with NA. So anybody, whoever is watching my data set, he can understand what is the treatment it has been done over here. And they are not going to disturb you. They're not going to ask further questions, and you can do your job also peacefully. So that's the story of our data clean one. Any doubt, any queries? Yeah, that's what all time saving techniques. That's what I told you. Our focus is to how to save our TAT, because in today's world, time is money. So that is what I always emphasize. And that is the only reason why I started initiating, or I told you, or I suggest you start working with keyboard shortcuts the most. Avoid using mouse, because the more the mouse uses, again, time consumption will be more. So data clean 1, done. Let's go to data clean 2. So now let me take you through the data, what we have with us. So let me put the data in a story format so that everybody can connect with us. Most of the time, what it happens, friends, the moment we download the data from our SAP or ERP system, though it is IBM ERP, Oracle ERP, XNGN, Foxpro, SAP HANA, SAP SuccessFactor, whatever it is, when you download the data, there are two areas you will be always be finding trouble. What are they? The number column will not be in number format. The date column will not be in date format. So this is what the challenge you are always going to face. And there, our action starts. How to clean our data. Unless and until you clean, you cannot make it ready for the next level. So this is what the data, something like that. Let me put this data in a story format. Suppose say my boss asked me a question, Pravas, get me entire fixed asset register. So I have given the respective T codes in SAP. I got a fixed asset register over here, and around 1 lakh records comes in this format. So what is the records? Like asset code is there, asset description is there, Next column we do have called asset class. All right. So this is the area where I have the first problem. And what is the problem? As I told you, the numbers, though it is there in asset class, it is not in number format. So now you can ask me a question, because how did you recognize the data? By simply looking at the data, how did you come to a conclusion that this is not in number format? Simple. If you look at the data over here, we have some green color flag symbols in the top left corner. So it's a simple message for us that this data is not complied with the standard format. So what is the meaning by standard format? Like numbers has to be in number format, date has to be in date format, percentage has to be in percentage format, time has to be in time format. So these are called different formats. So right now we have the data in numbers, but these are not in number format. This is what we have come to know. Now the question is how to clean it. Here our experts, they will suggest us, Prabhas, why are you getting worried? Select the data, and towards the left side of the column, you'll be finding a yellow color symbol, and you have to go and navigate. And there you have an option called convert to number. Our experts, they will suggest us to do the job like this. I don't recommend this. The reason, it will work. I'm not saying that it's not going to work. It will work. But this option is being designed to deal with the limited row items like 10, 20, 30, 40, up to 50. It's okay. It works like a charm. But we have a huge data, 1 lakh records. And by mistake or unknowingly, if I opted this option, it will be showing errors. What kind of error? Excel not responding, Excel stopped working, Excel is restarted, Windows is hanged, Excel screen is grayed out, and it is not allowing to any other further operation, or your Windows is restarted. So all these problems we have encountered with so many times. Do you agree with me, people? So many times it happens.
Yes.
So this is the basic reason behind that. So we are not going to commit that mistake. Then how to clean it up? See, first 1 minute, you please watch my screen. I have kept my cursor in the first value of asset class over here. Okay. And then I have selected the rest, Control Shift and down arrow key. Then I have gone for data menu, and there is an option over here called text to column. In data menu, text to column. So when I go for text to column, it will take me to a dialog box wizard like this. Here, I no need to do anything. Simply, I'll go for click the finish button. And when I choose the finish button, can you see all these green color flag symbols are removed? And my data now, it is exactly matching with the data type called numbers in number format. It has been converted. So this is the best way to clean up the data. And this is what the solution for the first problem in our SAP records. So please do that and confirm everybody is clear with our first problem of our SAP system.
Prabhas,
Yeah.
after we take the column, I'm sorry, where do we go?
You have to go to data. And there we have an option called text to column. Yes, Nora, I'm repeating. You can see after selecting the column, going to data, text to column. And when you go for text to column, then it will take you to the dialog box like this. You don't need to do any changes on this. Directly go for finish. And you'll be finding all these green color flag symbols are removed and the data is cleaned. So solutions for the first problem of our SAP driven data, how to rectify the same. Welcome. So how to clean up the data and how to make it ready for the next level. We got a basic understanding. Now, problem number 2. Kindly go to.
Prabhat, just
Yes.
one question here.
Yeah.
What is the logic of using the delimit and finish? And is it only for this particular function of cleaning? Can you just speak a few words on that?
No, that is for the data segregation or data separation purpose needed, like delimited and fixed width. That is for data separation purpose. Like take an example. If you have asked me, I'll quickly cover that. See, Take an example. Suppose I have got the data, something like this, customer name in one column, first name, last name, everything in one column. I need to separate this. So how do I separate? I will go for selecting this data, going to data, text to column, and then I'll go for delimited. Why delimited? Because we have got a data separator in place called space. So since my data is separated by space, I should use a delimited option. And when I go and select next, there is an option of delimiters. So how our data is separated? By space. So I should use space as a recognition point. And based on the space, automatically you can see the data preview box, the one more column is added to separate my data. Now I go for next, and here this is asking destination. So this is my source data. I do not want to disturb this, but I want to start the data segregations to happen from the next column. So instead of A12, I should go for B12. This is the only change I have to make. And then I go and click finish. My data is separated. So this is called basically data separations purpose. We can go for our data text to column, and that is called delimited. Hope this is clear.
Yes.
Now, similarly, fixed width. Now, suppose say, take an example, I have got a customer code like alphanumeric combination. I just want to separate alphabets into one column, rest of numerics into separate column. If that is the case, again, what we can do, going to data, text to column, we cannot use delimited because there is no separator over here to separate my data. So if I want to use my own logic to separate my data, or I have my column definitions to separate my data, I should use fixed width. So basically in one line where delimiter is missing, you have to use fixed width. And what is the meaning by delimiter? Any kind of character, space, comma, hyphen, slash, dollar, or @ any kind of character, if at all it is available to separate my data, I must use delimited. If none of the characters are available, I have to use my own column definition. You have to use fixed width. Now, having said this fixed width over here, when I go for next, then this is showing the data preview box over here. And there, what I need, first the character is alphabet in one column. So I'll keep my cursor between alpha and number, and I'll go for mouse click one more time. Just one time of mouse, left click of mouse. So can you see a column definition is added? I'll go for next. Again, the destination. I don't want to disturb my original data, source data. So instead of A19, I should go for B19. And the moment I click finish, my data is separated over here. So this is called my fixed width option. So earlier we have discussed about our delimited. So this is about fixed width. So hope you got the difference. What is delimited? What is fixed width?
Yes, I got this. This
Right.
part I understood. I'm
Right.
just trying to understand the first example where you used it, right, in the data clean sheet. I was just trying to understand what logic was used there, right? Because these two are pretty clear in terms of where there is a tab or a comma, then it separates out this way, and in the next one where you don't have those, then you're separating. But in the first example, we're not separating anything, right? We're just cleaning it. So
No,
I'm
no,
just
no,
trying
no,
to
no.
understand the logic
Text
of
to
using columns. Yeah.
text to column is a tool of Excel. It has got various usage. So it is not only meant for data separation or data segregation, it is also meant for data cleansing. So whenever your data is not in proper data format, then you can use this option called text to column. So what it does basically, I will tell you. Earlier, it was there in text format. The numbers were there in text format, having this kind of green color flag symbols. So when we go for our data text to column, what it happens here, I did not go for navigation of all these steps. I directly went for finish. But what technically it does, next, next, and next. Can you see? Column data
Yes.
format, one section is there. So basically default format was text, but it has converted the data to general. So that is the only change it does with this operation, and it is done in the backend. So I did not navigate next, next, next 3 times. I directly went for finish button. So in the backend, automatically my data is being recognized as a general format, and it is ready for any type of format to apply with date, percentage, number, time, or currency. Whatever it is, I can do that with it. So that's why it is converting the data into general format. And finally, we go for clicking the finish button. This is what the basic operation behind that. Hope it is clear.
Understood. Yeah, that's more clear. So which means that if this were to have been a date column, and if we had just simply done finish, then it would have recognized that it's a date format and automatically taken that into consideration.
No, it will not do like that. It is not taking in that way. If the date is not in proper date format, then we have again a different operation. That's what we are going to explore. Don't worry.
Understood.
Yeah. So our first
also,
yes.
Sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
So I just wanted to say, like, whenever we do a VLOOKUP as well, unless and until we do delimited, it doesn't take VLOOKUP as well, right?
Right. See, why it will not take, I'll tell you. Now, suppose say I have got a bill of materials, so material code is there, 1, 2, 3. This is my data. Okay. Now I am looking for some SAP data or SAP records I have dealt with. So SAP data, it is also showing 1, 2, 3. Okay, but it is there in a different format. So what is the format? Now suppose I take an example. I have gone for it. This is what the SAP driven format. All the time it will be there like this. Now though by looking at the data, I can make out this is seeming as if both are same, but technically these are not same. Why? Because if I go for this is equal to 1, 2, 3, this data and this data, it is showing false. Can you see that?
Right.
Why it is showing false? Because this is there in number, this is there in text. And even though I try to do a VLOOKUP with that, it will never come show the result. So is equal to VLOOKUP. If I take this and I try to look at this over here and comma, if I go for comma 1 and then so table array over here, comma 0. I'll go for it. Now this is also showing NA. Those same values there because this is in text. So what I need to do, I have to clean up this data. So I'll go for text to column. Next, I have to turn this from general to date. Though I have a number, but I have to convert it to date because there is no separate option for number. And date is at the end of the day, it's a number only. That's why logically we have to do the changes general to date. And the moment I click finish now, can you see now? I'm getting the VLOOKUP answer.
Yes.
So this is the reason why we have to do the data cleansing procedure in our SAP driven records. All right. So now we are going to discuss the extreme right. Come to the extreme right column, naming called year. In this year column, you can see some formula is there. Of course, we have dealt with yesterday with that formula naming called year. That year formula is there, but it is not fetching the values properly. Why? Because that year formula, if you look at, it is depending upon the date column. Can you see? It is already there showing the reference depending upon the date column. So it's a pretty simple and clear message. What is that? Since there is some problem in my date column, my year column is not fetching the value. Anybody can understand. So now come back to the date column. Keep your cursor in the first date value in the date column. Select the rest. Control Shift and down arrow key. Now, look at your data on your screen as well because it is the same data. Now, let me know what is the problem in our data. Because you are ready to answer. Anybody?
Not the correct date format.
Okay, so what is the date format problem? What is the problem exactly?
Should be slash, right? Can't be like that.
Should be slash. Okay. All right. So slash is the problem. Since we do not have the slash, it is giving it trouble. Okay. Shalini is saying it's not in date format. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. Let me take you through something on this. As a user, my friends, first of all, we need to understand in Excel how the date information is being stored. See, technically, we go for two formats across the globe. One is DD MMYY, the other one is MMDD YYYY. But when you go for the separators, you can use either hyphen like dd-mm-yy, or you can use dd or mm-dd/dd/yy. So basically, two recognized operators can be taken in our date format is one is hyphen and the other one is forward slash, not the backslash, forward slash. So except these two, anything else, if it is there as a separator, then the date is not recognized as a proper date format. And then immediately data cleansing starts. So here, understanding the same, now the moment I go for my date, so we have got a separator. What is that? Dot. So the dots has to be replaced. Let's do that. How? Control H. After selecting the whole date column, go for Control H. Find what? Find dot. Replace with what? Hold on. Here we need to understand one concept. See, there are two options we do have. We discussed. One is hyphen, the other one is forward slash. But which one we are supposed to take? I will tell you. In our bottom right corner of the system, if you see the date format, how the separators is being used, is it a hyphen or is it a slash? That you can take it over here. So say my system is having over here hyphen. So I'm going to replace with hyphen. This is the only thing you have to do. And once you do replace all, if you click the button, immediately it will throw a message, all done. We made 1658 replacements. So click OK and come out of that find and replace box. Now you can see your entire data is cleaned. So this is what the procedure for our problem number 2, the solution to clean up the data, bringing the date into proper date format. So just check it out. Everybody's data is clean or anybody still having some errors in place?
I have one clarification.
Please.
You in the other screen, right? You had typed out that there are just two formats, right? DD, MM, Y, one dash, and exactly, and one slash. But when we go to the format option of the date, then it gives you many options, right? In terms of DM, YY, and so on and so forth. So is all that also converting back into this and then getting populated?
No, where is the data you are talking about? In this date column, is it automatically changing? This is what your question.
No. So when you go there, right? If you do your control one and you go to the formatting of the dates, it gives you many options, right? To kind of change it into when you
in format cells
yes,
date category.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So what is the meaning of this? Is each of this also getting converted into those two types? Is that how we should understand?
No. This, see, custom option is being designed to bring it according to your need, according to your desired format, but the source remains always the same. This is just only the window dressing of your data, but the value remains the same. The date formats remains the same. This is only the appearance only it is going to change. So this is allowed as long as the date is in proper date format. You can play around with that output or format options.
Right, then I think I understood. So it always converts back to what you have typed out.
Simple. That's what I did not go in depth of it. I told you always make sure your data is either this or that.
Right.
Yes. All right. So Rajesh is saying in my format it was showing 1st October. That's not a problem. That's not a problem, Rajesh. See, that format is, you just look at the formula bar. Are you getting the right value of your date formatting options? Though in your date column it is showing, you look at your formula bar. Are you getting the value? Nakul and Rajesh, for you both, don't get worried about it.
Yes, sir, it was fine.
Right. So don't be worried. This is just an output. It is being displayed like this. If I go for it, you would have got this kind of format. But technically, see, I'm showing it over here. The moment I look at taking this cell over here, the moment I look at my formula bar, what it shows. So don't
Same
you,
as it is showing.
right. So the actual value has been taken to computation. Suppose tomorrow you want to go for VLOOKUP, or you want to take the date parameters to do some calculations, or you want to type any kind of formula, network days, e-date, or anything, this is going to work. Don't be worried about it. Now, coming to the question, I believe everybody is clear with the procedure number 2, how to clean up our data.
Yes, it is almost clear. But in year column, I guess not every cell is containing the year. It contains some hash value also.
Right. That's what I was awaiting, that somebody should come up with this. Very good.
Yeah.
So now the first question arises. Though I have updated the cleaning procedure, how will I confirm that entire 1 lakh records or 50,000 records or 10,000 records, whatever the data I have, all the places the data is in clean format? How will I confirm? Can I scroll down? If I scroll down, it will take minimum 10 minutes to check. And I cannot have a robot eye to just have a cross check for the entire 10,000 records, right? So the best way how to cross check and validate my entire column is clean is keeping the cursor in the column header, activate filter, Control Shift L or Alt D FF or Alt AT, anything, whichever it is comfortable for you, you can go for it, but use the keyboard shortcut. And these are called toggle keys, the same key to activate and to deactivate as well. Now going to the filter from date column, if you see in the filtered area, is there any errors displaying this area? Is there any errors is being displayed? Check by just scrolling down. Like any kind of blanks or date or hash value, any kind of errors is displaying? No. If it is not showing, means your data is clean. This is the best way to confirm. Similarly, go to your year column also, and over there you go and check in this area, is there any errors available over here? If it is not there, your data is clean. And if it is there, then we have to go for another procedure of data cleaning. Right, people?
Prabhas, one small thing which I wanted to ask you. Okay, if I'm selecting the year, okay, when I do filter, okay, in year, and if I wanted to go to from select all to end directly, what is the shortcut key for that going?
Select.
Instead of scrolling down one by one, can I go directly end? Like I wanted to see the end part.
Okay.
How could I do that?
Go for control end, control with one end button. If you have a dedicated key of end button, you can go for control end.
Control end.
Yeah.
Okay. And click on control end. Okay. No, but it is not working, Prabhas. Can you show it to me once again?
Yeah, that's what I'm telling. It depends upon the keyboard. If you have a dedicated key called as end, you have button like in the keyboard. If you see, we have got page down, page up, and end and start button. I have got some options, okay, like this. Or if you have got end button is dedicated key, it's just an integrated key with your arrow keys. Depends on the laptop if you're working with. So in that case, you have to use control with end, the arrow key which is assigned, or control function end if it is not a direct key or integrated key. So once you select over here, you can go to directly to the end. Like say the moment I'm working with this, I go to year and I have selected, suppose say select all. Then I go for over here immediately control function end. So I have reached the last cell. Now, if you see from selection itself, if I want to do, okay, from here I have gone, then I want to go for over here, suppose say, then I can go for function with end, function with home, function with end. Can you see?
Yes, got it.
Yeah. So it depends which brand of laptop you're using, whether it is a 14-inch monitor or it's a 15-inch monitor, or if you have a separate number keypad over there, or if you have a dedicated key separately for end button. So all this matters over here.
Okay.
Right. All right, people. So now during this process, while cross-checking the same, if anybody is still having the errors in place, then how to rectify that? I'll tell you. So here we have to go for another procedure to be added for data cleansing is selecting your entire date column data, go for data menu, text to column, and then go for next. One more time, next. Here, by default, the date will be shown as general format. Change it to date. And once you change it to date, within date option towards your right side, a drop-down box is there. If it is showing DMY, change it to MDY. If it is showing MDY, change it to DMY. This is the only change you have to make. And the moment you have done, then go and click the finish button and check. Are you getting any more further errors over here? It is clean now. You can cross check. After doing the procedure of our text to column for cleansing procedure, are you still getting the unwanted errors? Right? So this is how you have to clean up your data. So that's the story of our data clean 2. Now, the moment we have done with this, coming back to our year column, though the data is clean, but years cannot be ever expressed in comma. Comma separators is not allowed to express your years. Comma is allowed only for currency or the numbers. So this is again one more problem we have to rectify. How to rectify? Select your first year, Control Shift down arrow key. So the objective is we have to convert any format to general format. So with the help of mouse, you can go to home and there is a format over here. You can choose general. This is with the help of mouse. Now suppose say you are in the habit of using keyboard shortcut. So what is the keyboard shortcut to convert any format to general format? But before that, let us have a quick recall. In day 1, what are the keyboard shortcuts we used to change the format? I quickly ask, you have to answer. To convert any format to number format.
Control Shift 3.
Control Shift 1. So Control Shift 1 to convert any format to number format. In our data presentation sheet, we discussed. Control Shift 3 to convert any format to date format. We have discussed in our e-date calculation. Control Shift 5 to convert any format to percentage format. We discussed in our data presentation sheet as well. Then we have seen over here today. Yes, anybody's mic is on, could you please put it on mute? Yeah, thank you so much. Well, the moment we have gone for this over here, what you need to do is to convert any format to general format any point of time. You got to go Control and Shift, no doubt. But along with that, you got to go for, there is a key over before your numerical 1, like a hyphen key symbol, or above to your tab key, you will be finding the same key again. So this is called your tilde key, T-I-L-D-E. Very rarely or hardly you would have ever used also. So this key also has a usage. What is that? When you press Control Shift and tilde button, this will help you to convert any format to general format. So let's go and give it a try. Control Shift and tilde. Can you see that? Now the commas have been removed and the data has been converted into a general format. Control Shift and tilde. So total 4 different key combination for changing the formatting we have explored as such, and make use of that. I can understand practice is not happen, but do not do the same mistake today. You have got 1 week time. Whatever the day 1, day 2 learnings are there, please try to implement doing the practice at your workplace and as well as the live data or the same data set, whatever we are discussing, you can practice. Yeah, it is with the tilde. The key is called tilde, T-I-L-D-E. This is the key, tilde. All right. So how to clean up our data clean to the SAP driven records, and what are the areas primarily we have to focus, and what are the necessary data cleansing procedures we have explored and discussed. Any doubt, any queries in data clean 2?
I have one question.
Please.
You told us in column E, right? When after we use text to column and use the date key, we must change it, to MTB if it is sorry, NDY if it is the other way around. Can you just explain the last part? Why did you say that you have to always change it?
To bring the uniformity, because I'll tell you I'll take you one more real-time situation.
Okay, but I think I understood because some might be this way and some might be the other way. So you are prescribing that everything comes to the same format. Got it.
See the beauty over here. This is what it happens. We get our data with different formats of the dates. And if you look at the first case, what happens? It shows the format of DD-MMM-YY. The other one, it is just showing M/DD/YYYY. So though both are of date format, but do you think that the audience will be happy watching the data in this format? Anybody? Definitely not. So this is the place where we have to bring some uniformity of our data presentation. So though it is a date, either maintain DD-MMYY or maintain MMDDYY, not an issue, but it should be uniform. So how to bring that uniformity, how to clean the data and make a proper format? The best option, select your data, go for your text to column, next, and in the third tab, general to date. If it is showing DMY, MDY. If it is showing MDY, DMY. Done. All right. So this is the reason why I told you that option.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Now, coming back to the next sheet, what we are going to work with is over here is called Data Clean 3. Let's go for that. All right. So let me take you through the data, what we have with us first. Sometimes what it happens, friends, over here, okay, sometimes what it happens, we may receive our data in a different format, like it would be there in text format or notepad format. We have to copy and paste data in Excel. Sometimes we receive the data in PDF format. We have to copy and paste in Excel. Or it might be in MS Word document, or it could be in a SQL table data, or it could be a MS Access database, could be the case. But where is the problem? If you see the other platform, the data seems to be neat and clean. It is well organized and properly tabulated over there. But when you copy the data and paste in Excel, it goes completely haywire. The data scatters like anything. Automatically row height is increasing, column width will be increased, and we do not have any control of the data. And our job becomes tedious over there. How? To bring the data exactly, pulling out everything in one place and placing it, then we start working with it. It takes a lot of time. Most of the time it happens with us. Do you agree with me? Right, people? When you do the copy paste work, so many times it happens like that. So we have got some small same kind of situation over here. So let me put it in a story format. Now, suppose say, take an example, our friend Nakul is working with some data, okay? And our friend Anju is also working in his team. So I'm just taking two names, Nakul and Anju, for our story. Is there any objection, people?
No, not at all.
Thank you so much. Right. So now Nakul is working in his laptop in a bank portal where the bank name, bank account number, bank code, everything is well organized over there. And looking at that report, he immediately exported the data to Excel and he closed that portal. He came out of that. And the moment he opens that Excel file, Nakul, he saw that the data has dumped into a single cell like this. Can you see? Everything is dumped into one single cell. So like that, 10,000 entries are there. Then Nakul has got a big trouble. So he thought, this is not my cup of tea. Then how to clean up this data? Immediately, he asked Anju's help because Anju is working in his team. So he called up Anju. Anju, I have the data like this. Can you help me bringing only the bank code over here? This is what Nakul is asking to Anju. So now the first question, Anju, how you are going to reply for that? How you are going to get the values, only the bank code, like the 10,000 entries are there.
Maybe I'll copy it into a notepad and then paste it and, then kind of use the,
Control C, notepad.
yeah.
I have pasted. Again, I have copied. I have come back to my Excel. I have inserted one more Excel sheet. I have pasted my data. What happens?
Yeah.
Is it solving the
Yeah.
problem? If you look at somewhere bank code in column G, somewhere F, somewhere in the column E, again, I have to keep looking in each and every individual cell and I have to get that data. So that doesn't help actually technically. Right, Ranju? Yes. So now the question I'm going to ask, being a friend to Anju, anybody wish to give a helping hand? Yes.
Prabhas, using text to column again, below this delimited, there is width. Using that, it can happen.
If I go for fixed width is not going to
Fixed
help
width.
me. Fixed width is not going to help me. I have to go to delimited only. Next,
Delimited. Okay.
then going for space to separate and going for next and finish. But again, what is the problem? My data somewhere in column G, somewhere in column H, somewhere in column F. Again, the problem. Yes. So as I said, being a friend to our friend Anju, anybody wish to give a helping hand? Yes, Anuradha, Shalini, Radha. Anybody? Sudipto, would you mind helping Anju? Trust me, nobody wish to touch this kind of data in the corporate also. So now our friend Anju, she has approached to a person who is having good knowledge in Excel. Every corporate, somebody or the other will be there who is having good knowledge of Excel, and people call them Excel wizard, Excel king, something like that. The name tag name will be there. Now, suppose say in our group, suppose say our friend Mayuresh, he has got good knowledge of Excel, and Anju has approached to Mayuresh for that. And Mayuresh is watching the entire situation or scenario. He gave a beautiful formula. What is that? It is the combination of if, len, mid, find, if error, and finally it is not ending up with our parenthesis, it is ending up this kind of curly braces, which is completely beyond of the understanding of our friend Anju. Do you agree with me, Anju?
Yes.
Now immediately she asked Mayuresh, you have given me the solution, thank you so much, but could you please help me in understanding the logic, how it works? Then what Mayuresh replied, Anju, you asked for help, I did it because I have my own work also to do. If you are really interested to know about it, please call me after 5:30 or come to my seat, I'll help you out. So this is how Mayuresh has replied. Now, without understanding the logic, Anju tried to apply the same at the place, but sometimes it works, sometimes it fails. Why? Because the data is of inconsistent type. Now Anju gets frustrated. Nothing is helping him or her. Nothing is working out for her case. Now, what is the choice? Leaving everything, she comes to the original track. What is the original track? Copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. 10,000 records. Just imagine how much time it will be taking. Yes, Anju?
It's not possible, right? A lot of times.
Of course, you see, you don't have any other choice. I gave you the real-time scenario. I gave you the
Might have
scenario.
mistakes also, right?
Yeah,
You
quite.
can't have like a wrong Excel.
Right. So you have to, at the end of the day, you have to present your records to Nakul. Since he is demanding, you don't have any other choice except doing the copy paste work. And if you start doing the job for 10,000 cases, minimum 3 to 4 hours solid time of yours is going to be consumed over here. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Right. So this is the place, my friends, over here. Just imagine when Anju is asking that, okay, 10,000 records, it will take 4 hours. Nakul, do you have that much of patience to wait for 4 hours?
Not at all.
No way. Nobody will be having that. Now, in this case, he needs the data, who Nakul, and he has to wait. There is no other go because his teammate is asking like this. And what happens at the end of the day when Anju is going to present it, no doubt about it, but it will be leaving a question mark regarding his productivity and efficiency. And that is going to reflect in her KRA. And when a KRA report is negative, that will be going to affect in the appraisal form also. So entire thing is chain reaction is there. Can you imagine, can you feel that? Right, people? This is how it happens. So now take a look on this. Same thing. As usual, whatever we are expecting, instead of taking 4 hours of quality time and spending over there, if I could able to do the same job with 10 seconds, trust me, 10 seconds, is it going to save a lot of time? What say? Yes,
Yes.
undoubtedly.
Yeah.
So let's see now how to do that. First 1 minute, you please watch my screen. This is the data I have, okay? I have cleaned up my column C, whatever it was. I have gone to my column B and I could see all the places my bank code is there at the extreme end of the statement. I have copied one instance, gone to the next column, I have pasted it. Then on my keyboard, simply I pressed a keyboard shortcut, Control E, see the beauty, like a magic show, entire 10,000 cases, all the bank codes, wherever it is there, it has been extracted, though the data is of inconsistent type. So something new, something strange, but what is that keyboard shortcut? Why we were not aware of that? Because this is one of the artificial intelligence tool of our Excel naming called flash fill. And this is available only in 2013 and above versions of Excel. Earlier, it was not there. So anybody, if it is working or she is working in 2010, I'm sorry, this option will not be there. You have to upgrade your system. But trust me, this option is going to save a lot of time of yours. So please give it a try and confirm, is it working for you? First, clean your column C, whatever it was there. Go to column B, first data, copy that bank code, paste it in your column C, go for Control E. Whether you are able to get all your data populated instantly. Right. So those who are having 2010, they have to upgrade the system. There is no other options. But 2013 and above, you can make use of this tool. Really a great tool. Now, coming to the same situation. Anju, are you happy doing the same job now? What's saying?
Come again?
Are you happy now saving your time when Nakul asked you to do the job?
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
So definitely you can save a lot of time. Now, same question I'm going to ask to Nakul. Nakul, are you happy having a teammate like Anju in your team?
Absolutely. Yes.
Definitely. Anybody will be seeking an efficient teammate at his team, right? Definitely. So here, friends, now the moment we have done with this job, let's go and have more in-depth discussion on this flash fill. This is what the keyboard shortcut. Now you can ask me a question, Prabhas. I am the person who believes in working the menu-driven commands because I tend to forget the keyboard shortcut if I don't use it. So can you help me? Where is the option in the menu options? I'll tell you. If you go to the home tab, there is a down arrow key symbol below to the sigma is called fill. And if you go over here, there's an option called flash fill. So this is the first option. This is called below to sigma from the home tab, and this is called flash fill. Location number 1. So if you are unable to recall the keyboard shortcut Control E from here also, you can execute the command or navigate the command. 1. Second location is if you go to the data menu, here also we do have an option called our flash fill. So after next to text to column, you will be finding this flash fill option. This is the option in the data. This is the menu option. and this is called flash fill, and this is the keyboard shortcut. All right. So these are the two locations you will be finding your flash fill, and this is going to save your life. Trust me. So we are just in the beginning state. I'll tell you how it works exactly. Now, the moment when you go for flash fill, people, we have to satisfy 4 rules. That is very, very essential to know. So what are those rules? No need to do anything. Just look at my screen. Flash fill. Okay. Rules. Flash fill says that whenever the first rule we are discussing, if you have the data in place, okay, ensure next to data column, there should be a blank column. What does it mean? Like if my data is there in column B, column C has to be blank. If column C is having data, you must insert a blank column. That is what the meaning, the first rule. Ensure next to data column, there should be a blank column. Well, rule number 2, after flash fill, make paste special values. What does it mean? Like after applying the flash fill, selecting the data, copying the same location, right click, paste special will appear, need to click. There is an option called values, and we have to click OK. Is it really necessary? Is it mandatory? Yes. The reason why I say it is mandatory, because if you do not go for this option, then whatever the flash fill data you have extracted it, you have saved your file. Tomorrow when you try to reopen, there is a change of the data gets diluted, the data gets changed automatically. So that is the reason why, to safeguard our flash fill data, you must go for copy paste special value to make it static. And now rule number 3, after step 2, that paste special value, create your data header. What does it mean? Like if I have gone first to create my data header, what is the new column? Say bank code. I have created that. Then I try to apply flash fill. It will not work, because the header will be considered as a base value for your flash fill, and it is not going to extract the values properly. So this is the reason why I would always suggest, first go for creating your data, then go for your paste special value, then go for creating the column header naming called bank code. Then rule number 4, ensure there is no formula over or on data column. Like in column B, there should not be any cell containing the formula, because if you have the formula driven cell, flash fill will not work. So the data has to be static. So again, you have to go for copy paste special value. Column B, you have to make it as a static data, then only flash fill will work. So these are the 4 rules, very, very essential rules for our flash fill. You have to always remember that. So I'm just copying and pasting. You can turn into your own language for your better understanding, whatever it is, but these are the basic rules. Okay. So we have got clear with the rules. Any doubt, any questions as such, whatever we discussed about flash fill? Clear? Now we'll discuss where else we can use flash fill. Okay, we have understood a situation. Okay, this place I can use flash fill. Where else I can use flash fill? So I will tell you in one line, 90% cases, whenever there is a need of data cleansing, you can use this flash fill. Trust me, it will work like a charm. Now, what about the rest of 10%? Yes, when the data is not of consistent type, or if your flash fill is unable to create a pattern, then it will fail. So in those 10% cases, you have to go for a formula driven results, like whatever the formula Mayuresh has given, like if, len, mid, find, nested formulas, those kind of formulas we have to use. So now I'll tell you where else we can use our flash bill. See, the moment we have discussed over here, if I have got the name in place, first name in one column, last name in other column, if I need to combine the data, what we do? Anybody?
Concatenate.
Yes. Yeah, very good. There is a formula called concatenate, but don't use this. This is for a information. There is a formula called concatenate, but don't use this. The reason is this is a lengthy formula. So instead of that, what I suggest is going to equal to, take the first name, use ampersand or and symbol, which will be acting like a concatenate formula operator. And then I have to use last name. But the problem is data comes, but it becomes combined over here. There is no separator over here because Hari and Sadhu, it is two different words. So what we need to do, equal to first name ampersand, we need to have a space. Space is a character we must define within two double inverted quotes. That will be combined with my first name, but we have also last name to be combined with. So one more ampersand, taking the last name, control enter. So this is how technically we should combine our data, or we combine also in this fashion. Do you agree with this? Yes, people? So what do you say? Is this the best option to combine our data? Isn't it?
Yes.
Right. So
There should be a space between both the semicolons.
yes, within two double inverted quotes, there should be a space. All right. So this was the best option you can say till yesterday. But today, when you are working with in this upgrade versions, I do not recommend this. What is the best option? See the beauty. No need to do anything. Look at my screen. Same data I have. I have got 1,000 records, 1,000 employee details, no issues. I will go to next column. I will just type the first data, Hari, whatever the format, Hari space Sadhu. Control E, done. Even though I have got 1 lakh records, one shot, my entire data is combined. No formula, no functions, nothing. File size is also not going to be heavy. Data is combined on a blink of your eyes. How much of time you can save, just imagine. Similarly, when you happen to segregate your data, people always suggest us go to this text to column as we discussed. If you have the data in one column, if you happen to segregate, you need to go for text to column. That was the best option till yesterday. But today, when you're working with 2013 and above, I would suggest simple. If this is the data, go to the next column, type Hari. Again, go to next column, type Sadhu. Make Hari control E, Sadhu control E. Done. Two keyboard shortcuts, bang on, data is separated. Can you imagine how you're going to increase your speed because of this? What say? Yes, people, can you feel it? Yes. So this is how, I mean, trust me, this is a tool which is really going to save a lot of time of yours. So taking the live data, keep practicing about all these things and make a point whenever I need to do data cleansing, can I use flash fill? If flash fill fails, then go for any other operations. All right. I'm going to take you through one more real-time situation. No need to do anything. Just look at my screen. See. Mostly in the organizations or industries, what it happens, the moment you have got the inventory items or master record of employees or the bill of materials, when you are dealing with such kind of files, what it happens, when you download the data, it comes with leading zeros to the left. So this is really annoying and frustrating. And unless and until I clean my data, neither I can go for any kind of VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, nothing can be done. And we have our experts also, supply chain specialist Sudipto. He is the best person to say most of the time you will be facing this kind of trouble. Do you agree with me, Sudipto?
Yes, exactly.
Right. So in those cases, friends, what to be done, how to deal with the same, unless and until I clean up this data. When I go for find and replace, removing zeros, the existing material code zeros also being replaced, which will be really diluting my data. And this is one of the painful area in the corporates or industries or OEM industries or manufacturing industries, wherever you are dealing with. And there, people end up with writing a lengthy code of formulas. But I'll tell you, since we are working in 2013 and above, how to make our job easy. Though it is of inconsistent type, somewhere the material code is starting with 2 alphabets, somewhere it is of 1 alphabet, no worries. A simple thing I'll do, I'll go to the data, I will select my exactly the material code, I will copy it, I will go and paste it in the next column. Simple, Control E, done. Can you imagine? How efficient is Excel, this AI tool, flash fill? So that's what the beauty. And trust me, when I deliver the training with the corporates like Tata Motors and all these things, when I delivered, the people were really so happy with the takeaways for this tool only. It will, Prabhas, seriously, you have saved my life. I always at the month end while doing the reconciliation of item, it was taking a lot of time. I used to sit late night and do the reconciliation, then sending the report. I was to leave the home. But because of this, I'm sure I can save minimum of 5 to 6 hours every month. So that's a great achievement. So this is how people, when you know the tool better, you can efficiently use that and you can save your TAT. So hope you got a basic understanding how to use this flash fill, people. Any doubt, any queries as such? So what's your opinion about the tool? Is it a great tool? As a user, I'm asking to you. I showed you multiple scenarios. From that, what is the bottom line? What is the concluded statement? Yes, anybody will really hats off for this tool. Anyway, now once we have done with this, okay, yes, it is time saving, Tushar. Now Anju is happy because she could save time. Nakul is also having a teammate like Anju. Now Anju, we know one thing, or everybody knows also, when boss is happy, what happens next? Yes, Anju?
He will maybe challenge more.
Will not be challenging. Whether he's your enemy, why he will challenge you? So expectation increases, workload increases. That's what we discussed in our day one also. The same thing happened with our friend Anju. What Nakul is saying now, Anju, thank you so much. You brought me bank code, but can you bring me the bank account number? So now the question, if it is arising in your mind, okay, if it is in the only in the end of my statement, my flash fill works. What if my data is somewhere in the middle? Whether it is going to get me, that is what the question we are going to answer. So this is what Nakul is expecting, that bank account number, somewhere it is in the middle of the statement, whether we able to extract that. Let's do that. So let's go for a hands-on practice. As we know, the first rule, what is that? Next to the data column, the column has to be blank. Yes, we have created a blank column. Then going to bank account number, select bank account number, copy that, coming to the next column, paste it, and go for flash fill. Check, are you getting your data properly? Are you getting the bank account numbers properly, everybody? So what happens? What is the understanding now we have? Flash fill, it works or fails? Yes, people, give me your opinion. We applied flash fill. Now, what is your opinion? I am not getting the data that we saw, some plus 12, plus 11, that is not supposed to be. And if you see the literally the second case, the bank account number starts with 0. Those zeros are missing, obviously, right? So the bottom line is, I'm going to ask, what's your opinion, whether flash fill is working or not?
Perhaps there's something about the data as well, right? Like when we look at some of the cells, for example, in row 20, you just have a number there. So you don't have the code as well as the account, right? So there is also some, how to say, the way this data has arrived, there seems some elements are there in some cells, some are not. So maybe this flash fill works if the data is more uniform.
My question is not that. I asked a simple question. We did the entire operation. From that, what you have understood, flash fill works or not?
For me, it would not work in the case.
Anybody else?
We have got the account numbers, but they are not in maybe the correct format.
So basically, to answer my question
Because,
precisely,
yeah,
flash fill is working. Flash
Yeah,
fill,
flash fill
yeah,
can work.
yeah.
Can you just delete? I can tell you how it can work. Can you just delete whole thing?
Yeah.
Delete whole thing. Okay, select the account number only. Just select the account number.
Okay.
Okay. Just copy that account number.
Okay.
Okay. After copying that, okay, just press F2 and semicolon.
Okay.
In the beginning.
Okay.
And then Control E.
Okay.
It will going to work.
Okay. So I'm not talking about that. What we did the operation over there in the first case, we saw that our flash fill is working or not.
It is working, but the
Right.
format is
Right.
there.
Right. The question is answered there. Flash fill is working. And why flash fill is working? Because it is populating the value. If flash fill were not working, then I would have got the answer only in one cell, but I'm getting for the entire column. So flash fill is working, but the output is not coming up with the desired format. That is where the challenge, right? So that we have to discuss. So let's go for the discussion. So discussion is over here regarding the Excel data, how it stores the data. Let's have a discussion. See, the moment you are presenting your data in number format in Excel, okay, how many characters I have right now? 10 characters. It is showing all these characters. If I go add one more, it is also showing. If I go and add one more, what happens? It is not now showing anymore with the proper number format. So what you have understood from this? If you want to type the data as a numerical format or numbers in place, maximum 11 characters only will be displayed in the cell. If it is more than 11 characters, then it is not going to show the data properly. So in that case, what we do, we need to store the data in a text format. And how to store it in text format? Anything you store along with apostrophe, the single quote or apostrophe, this is a self-implied message commanding Excel to store the data as a text format. And you can see with immediate effect that green color flag symbol is turning up and the data is stored as a text. That's why we able to see all the characters. And even though you count also, this is showing 12 characters. So what we have understood from the entire discussion, there, the flash fill, though it works, but it tries to store the data in a number format. That's why we are not able to see the data properly. So what we need to do over here is going to the data, selecting the bank code, whatever we have, copying the same, coming back to the cell. But here, what we need to do, paste as a text. So to store anything as a text, first apostrophe, the single quote, then paste. And the moment you hit enter, you can see the data is stored as text. No worries. Now go for flash fill. What is the shortcut? Control E. So can you see now, when you have the numbers to be extracted with flash fill, This is the way you should get it done. Hope that clear. Now, rule number 2, copying the data, right click, paste special, make it values. As per the flash fill rules, once you applied flash fill, make sure the data is turned into copy paste special values. So the data will become static. Now step 3, create the data header, bank account number. Then if you believe this green color flag symbols are annoying, you have a choice. What you can do, select all this data, whatever you have got it through flash fill. Left side, you'll be getting this kind of yellow symbol. Do not go for convert to number, go for ignore error. Go for ignore error, and those green color flag symbols will be removed. And your data will be in a clean format. It will be displayed. And even though the account code or account number, it starts with 0, this is showing as usual all the zeros in the left. So this is how we have understood whenever you have the data in the middle, as long as the data is of consistent type, your flash fill is going to work like a charm. All right. So hope.
Prabhas, I
Yeah.
have a question.
Yes.
It's pretty much leading to what I asked you earlier, right? If you look at row number 14, right, it gives you the same response in column C as well as in column D. So, I mean, that's one of the reasons I was like, what is the logic behind it? Because sometimes I probably don't want the same code to be populated in both the cells. So maybe a little bit on when to use this and when it's better not to use this.
See, there is no logic over here. First of all, there is no logic over here. Did you apply any kind of logic?
No.
So we have just pressed only a simple keyboard shortcut Control E, correct? So what is in the first case, what it does exactly? The moment you have the data, when I copied and pasted, it established a relationship. This is the data, this is the output I'm expecting. And this is creating a pattern that is called artificial intelligence. It automatically creates a pattern. And what kind of pattern? That after the last space, whatever the data I am expecting as a output, that is the pattern it is created. We are not defining that logic. It is automatically created by that tool. And then when I go for Control E, everywhere, wherever after the last space, whatever the data it is there, it is trying to pull up. It doesn't understand whether in the after last space, whether the bank account number is there, bank code is there, or XYZ is there, or ABC is there. It doesn't understand that. It just does the job. What we have instructed, it creates that pattern, and based on that pattern only it is filling. So flash fill is nothing but, in the literal terms, we can say it's a pattern filling.
Right.
Now coming to answer your question, why it is giving the same answer for all the cases, both the cases. The reason is, in the first case, since it is not having the bank code, whatever after the last space, it is populating over here. And now for bank account number case, since it is exactly there in the middle, and again, as per the pattern, it should get all the numbers in place, and that's why it is doing that. So again, there is no logic over here. It automatically creates its pattern. And wherever it fails to create a pattern, flash fill will not work. That is what the bottom line.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. All right. So how flash fill works over here? What is the shortcut key? Where we find in our menu navigation commands? All these things are clear. Anybody else is having any other question? Feel free to ask. All clear? Shall we go ahead for further? Or Nagul, do you have any other further question for Anju?
No, I don't have.
So you are done, right? Okay. But I am not done yet. Can I ask some question?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Now suppose say Nakul is presenting this data to me. Okay. So he has already got bank account number, bank code, everything segregated. So that solves my problem. Fine. But still I have an expectation about something else. What is that? I asked Nakul, can you get me the bank names over here in a separate column? bank names. How to get that? Yes, people. Give me your best shot in this. What to be done? How to get that? Anybody? So far what we have understood, if something is at the end, Flashfill got the value. If something in the middle also, Flashfill was efficient enough to get the pattern and get the value. What if something is in the beginning?
It's the same thing. You need to select the bank name and
Okay.
to control E, it will go to work.
Okay, let's see. I'm doing it. Going to the first case, my bank name over here. I have selected, copied that, coming over here. Then I pasted it. Then I gone for Control E. Am I getting all the places bank names? Just check it out. See, National Australia Bank Limited. Limited is missing. Bank of Nova Scotia. Scotia is missing. Barclays Bank over here, PLC. This is missing. Bank of America. This is missing. America. Can you see that? I tried it. As you said, I tried it. So what happens? What you have understood?
Doesn't work.
That it's not working.
Right. So I told you 10% cases, Flashfill will not work. So this is one of the 10% cases. Where Flashfill is unable to create the pattern, it will not work. So how to deal with that? Yes, Nakul, what's your opinion on this?
Yeah, I'm thinking this.
Okay. In the meantime, anybody wish to answer something on this? I told you, right? Just 10 minutes before, if Flashfill fails, what is the alternate option? The formula driven result. There is no other go. We have to write nested formulas. So what should be my formula? Let's have a discussion. See, now no need to do anything. Just look at my screen. The moment I want to start working or fetching my bank name, ideally, if I think like a layman, what I can do? Kindly look at my screen. From the entire case, if this is my whole data, from this, if I remove my unwanted data, so in this case, what is my unwanted data? Starting from my bank account number, ending up with the bank code, this entire data is unwanted. Do you agree?
Yes.
So if I successfully remove that, then the leftover data is nothing but my bank name. Can I consider like this? In each and every cell, if I remove the unwanted data from the cells, the leftover data is nothing but my desired output. So the way we thought, same thing we are going to customize as a formula. So what is the formula we are going to now design? Where our unwanted data starts with. So for that reason, we have to go for a formula over here, naming called find. What find does, if at all in any cell, you want to find out a particular character's position, a particular cell character's position, or a alphabets or numbers or data character's position, you can go for find. What it demands me, find text. What we want to find. The unwanted data where it starts with. The unwanted data is nothing but my bank account number. Already we have got it in our right side column. Comma. Within text, where you want to find in the data from the left. The moment I hit enter, I am getting a number 27. What does it mean by 27? If I start counting my characters, A as 1, U as 2, like that, the moment I reach to my bank account number where it starts with, it will be giving the number called 27th position. I got it. All right. Now I will open the formula. I will be using a nested formula called left. So left and right formula is specifically designed by Microsoft Excel to ascertain certain characters from the left and right respectively. So what it demands, the left formula is asking for text. Text is over here in the left, comma. What it is saying, how many number of characters from the left you are expecting. So from the left, if I start counting on 27th position, my unwanted data starts. That is what find is already given. Now from the 27th position, if I go and deduct one character out of date, so ultimately the balance, whatever the leftover characters from the left, starting from 1 till that character is nothing but my bank account name or bank name, correct? 27th position, unwanted data starts. So from 27, one character, I will reduce it. So starting from 1 till 26th character is nothing but my bank name, right? So this is how we have got our character. And once we got it, the same formula we can apply for the rest. See the beauty? So where flash fill fails, sometimes we have to go for this kind of formula driven results. So please go for that and give it a try. Are you getting the same? Please confirm. Yes, people. Any questions from anybody? Is it working? Kindly confirm.
Can you repeat it once again?
Yep. First, you go and find out the unwanted data where it starts, like bank account number, in which character position it starts with. So we have gone for a formula called find. So find text. Text is my bank account number. I have taken, comma. It is asking within text. Within text is in the left side data. Enter. So it gave me 27. Is that clear? Find formula clear?
Yes.
Right. Now, before find, I'll keep my cursor. I'll go for a formula called left. And what it does, left formula, if you want to ascertain some characters, certain characters from the left side of your data, then you can go for this formula. Like it is asking text. So text is in the left side. Is there the data? Okay, comma. Number of characters. How many characters you want? It is asking. So already my find formula is giving me 27. Okay, so if I go for this without doing anything, what will be happening? Find is giving 27. So starting from left up to 27th characters, whatever the data is there, everything will be pulled up. Say, take an example over here. I did not do anything. I have gone for over here. What it's saying? Australia and New Zealand, along with that, 2 also it turns up. Can you see that? So that 2 is unwanted. So what I need to do, I have to just reduce one character. So whatever the character it is found out by the find formula, one character less. Means starting from first character till that many characters I am expecting. So when I go and hitting enter, I got the result. And the same I can apply for the rest. Okay.
Yes, I'll try.
Right.
Prabhas,
Yeah.
yeah, for the previous 2 flash fill exercise, you told to go for right click paste special, but I did not get that value. In my laptop, it is showing only code and text something, those 2 options.
Because you forgot to copy. First you need to copy. Right? Is it working now?
I just need to copy and then paste values, right?
Yeah, you have to right click on the same area only. After copying same area, right click and make it as paste special. Just paste special over here. A option comes. You have to click that. Don't navigate. Just click on that. And it will take you to the dialog box like this. You have to choose values.
Okay. Yeah, got it.
Right. Well, friends, so I believe everybody is clear with this. We'll proceed to our next example. Okay. So now the next question is, next sheet is our data fill. Data fill. Now, when I go for the data fill, let me take you through the data, what we have with us and what is the objective. Let me give the clarity on that. Then we start working with it. So I remove this problem area over here. This is for understanding. I just deleted that. Okay. Now take an example. Suppose my boss asked me, Prabhas, get me the entire revenue report. So I just gave the respective T codes over there. And the moment I download a report from SAP system, I found 1 lakh records. It comes in this format. What is that? That store details name is there. And these are the products which we are selling to our customers. And this is the revenue in terms of lakhs. It is there. All right. Now, the moment over here, we got this data of 1 lakh records in this format. Looking at the data, my boss is saying, Prabhas, this data, you keep it with you. I don't want that. What I am expecting is I want to see only one record or one product related information is called vanilla powder. So out of 1 lakh record, boss is interested in watching only vanilla powder related product records. So what we do in that case? Yes, people? Hope the question is clear. 1 lakh records are there. Only vanilla powder related records to be displayed on the screen. What we do in that case? I don't think it's a complex question.
Filter.
Simple. Simple. How to apply filter? What we do, we go for the custom headers and we go and apply filter. Filter in the product column and we go for select all to deselect. Then we go for vanilla powder, isn't it? So when I go for vanilla powder and I click OK, I'm able to express my data. Is this the way we do? Correct? Right. So everybody is okay with that, what we did. Yes, no, no response. Yes, people.
Yes, that's what we do.
Are you there with me? We have got a good amount of strength.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So now let's have a discussion on this, people. The way we have done our filter operation, if we are doing like this, then it is not acceptable. Why? Because this is accepted only if a standard 5 student does the job of filter like this. It is okay with him because he's the beginner. Not like us, a professional who are into industries for quite long time. And if you do the filter like this is not us accepted because we cannot afford that much of time for doing the filter operation like this. So what is the best way to do the filter job? I'll tell you. See, what was the requirement? Out of 1 lakh records, boss was expecting only vanilla powder related records. Simple. Take your mouse pointer to vanilla powder, right click, filter, selected by cell value. Done. Can you see that? How quick it is in the help of mouse. So no filter button to create, no need to navigate, no need to search which product, no need to go for select all, deselect all. All these things happen, creating the filter buttons in place and getting the data filtered out. So can you try this? Is it working with the help of mouse, immediate filter? Right, we did it, correct?
Could you just show it? Could you just say it one more time?
Yeah, keep your mouse pointer to vanilla powder, right click,
Yeah.
filter, selected by cell value.
Ah. Thank you.
Right, no problem. So here, the moment we have presented with this, my boss is still not happy. Why? You can see our friend Salini has already explained. We don't get the store details. So in that case, can I say to my boss one thing? Sir, why you are asking the things in installments? You could have asked me in the beginning itself that store wise product vanilla powder related records I'm expecting. I could have done something arrangements over here. I could have got the data. First you asked me vanilla powder related records. I presented. Now you're asking store detail record. Can I say something like this to my boss? What will say? It was how many years since you are working with me that every time I need to tell you what I want. Obviously, people will react like this. So what we have understood, the moment my boss was asking vanilla powder related records, it was just a demand. But when I'm presenting the records, I should have presented along with the store detail, that was the expectation. So if you want to make a difference at your workplace in the corporate world, you have to exceed the expectation. Not only fulfilling the demand alone is enough. You have to exceed the expectation. Anyway, now why it is not appearing in the case of store detail? If you look at, you can go back to the data, you can realize our store detail column is containing the store name only in the first row. The rest of cells, it is having the blanks in place. And why is it like this? Because this is the default pattern of our SAP driven reports. If you have got large amount of data, the report data, it will come like this. Why? Because if your store detail name is repeated over here, unwantedly file size will be heavy. So this is the reason why report output comes like this. But unless and until I fill all these blank cells with the respective stored name, I cannot work further. So basically, we need to make our data ready for the next level. But how to do that with no time? Let's see. Start doing with me. Keep your cursor in your store detail column header. Okay, select the whole column. Select the whole column. And then go for Control G or F5. Control G or F5. And then what should what my boss is going to ask over here, we have to do that. So going to special, click the special button. There's an option called blanks. If you remember, data clean 1, we have already discussed something about this. Going for blanks. The moment we choose blanks option over here and click OK, you will be finding from the entire data column, you have only blank cells are alone in selection. So leave your mouse, leave your touchpad, immediately type equal to. It will start typing in the first blank cell, don't worry. Now take the reference of the previous cell. Just connect the previous cell, one cell above. Just connect or click that cell, anything you can do, and hit Control Enter. So when you hit Control Enter, can you see now? The entire store detail column, wherever the blank cells were there, automatically it starts filling the data with the respective stored name. So this is called the time-saving options to fill your blanks if it isn't there in the regular intervals in any piece of data, and you can make it ready for the next level. So hope it works for everyone. So if it is working, please do a hands-on practice in case number 2, which is there towards your right side. Again, start filling the store detail column. Select your data. Going to F5, Control G, special, blanks. Okay, equal to previous cell, Control Enter, there you have to give it. Right? Any questions from anybody in data fill sheet? Now we'll go for our next sheet is naming called sorting. Okay. So here we have got two data sets. Let's focus with the first data set, what we have towards our left. Okay. Now stay focused with the storyline. What my boss asked me, Prabhas, get me the entire employee related details. So I gave the respective T code and I got a report of 10,000 records. Now assume we have got 10,000 headcounts in the organization and we got the records of 10,000 people. So department wise employee names are available, date of joining and the salary they draw, complete picture is there of 10,000 people. But my boss is not happy with that. And what he's demanding, he's saying, Prabhas, why don't you arrange the data based on the department? Now, why he's so particular about the department? Because if you look at the department, I have got finance, then admin, then HR, then again finance. Means the data is there, but it is jumbled, it is shuffled over here. So basically, he is expecting the data should be in a good shape or good arrangements over here so that it should be in a readable state. Okay. If that is the case, then we have to go for a data arranging tool called sorting. And sorting is a tool, depending upon the data type, it changes the orders. Like if you have alphabets, A to Z or Z to A order, it will set. If it is a number, smallest to largest, largest to smallest. If it is a date, oldest to newest or newest to oldest. But to do that arrangements, select your data, keeping the cursor anywhere. Sorting. You will be getting the sorting options at three different locations in our Excel interface. One, if you go to home, we have a sort and filter over here. If you go to data, we do have a sorting. If you go for right click on data also, you do have a sorting option and custom sort. Whichever it is comfortable, you can go for it. But if you ask me, I always believe in working with keyboard shortcuts. So Alt D S, that is called data sorting. So any point in time, you can go and select your data and go for Alt D S. Now, sorting dialog box is activated. Sort by. Drop down, we have to click. Now, which column? My boss is expecting the data to be sorted, department. And what type of data it is holding? Alphabets. I told you if it is an alphabet, order should be A to Z or Z to A. So let it be A to Z, no need to do any change. Click OK. So you can notice each and every department wise data will be grouped together and it will be placed over here. So accounting at one place, admin at one place, HR at one place, finance at one place. So everything, the data is now categorized properly. All right. So this is called our data sorting. This is what we do. Yes.
Yes.
Right. Now, when I presented my data in this fashion, my boss is still not happy. Why?
Only the department is sorted, like the salary or anything is not sorted.
Okay, but he never asked, right?
Yeah, but that's what you said, right? Beat the expectation.
That's a good one. I'm glad you learned immediately. But here, let's discuss why he's not happy. He's looking at the data and he's telling, Prabhas, this department-wise data has been sorted. I'm glad. And his focus has gone to the immediate salary column. So what he's watching there, the salary one it is looking at, first one is 32,000, second one is 21 something or third one 30,000. This is not having any kind of order. So what he is telling now, Prabhas, I just want to see each and every department wise, the highest salary in the top and the lowest one in the bottom. So this is what my boss is expecting. And what do you call that one? That is called as your multi-layer sorting or multi-level sorting. So how to do multi-layer sorting? Just see. Select your data and go for data sorting. So you can notice already one level sorting is happened based on the department. You should not change that. You should not disturb that. You should not tamper that. You can see in the sorting dialog box itself in the top left corner, we have an option called add label. You can click on that add label. You will be finding one more blank layer is turning up, and there, the first drop down, then by. So what is that column we need to deal with? Is our salary. Okay, so now what is that data it's dealing with? The numbers. And I told you, when you have the numbers in place, order automatically changes. Smallest to largest or largest to smallest. And what my boss is expecting? Largest to smallest. So I can choose that and click OK. So with immediate effect, you will be finding each and every department wise, the highest salary is there in the top and the lowest one in the bottom. So that is called your multi-layer sorting. Hope this works. Clear what we did?
Yes.
Now, anybody is having a question, Pramas, you name the program as Advanced Excel, but you are teaching us sorting and all. Anybody is having such question? No problem, feel free. If you have such thoughts in the mind, you can share with me. Honestly, no. Okay, great. How about Shalini? Nakul? Mayuresh? Tushar? Nora? I named the program as Advanced Excel, but I am teaching you now sorting and all those things, which you are already aware of. Then there is no point of, there is no value additions to your knowledge. The entire 5 minutes what we spent over here, it has gone waste.
The sorting which we were doing was like very easy, but this is something which we are learning new.
Okay, okay, good. So something new or takeaways there. I'm glad that there is a value additions to your knowledge. Okay, so without wasting much time, let me come to a conclusion. Whatever my boss asked me, I presented properly, but he did not give a compliment to my work. Neither he has appreciated my work. He simply worked out. He simply worked from my place. So my question is, we are spending time, we are giving our efforts to our data to present it better, but still audience is not happy. So where the things are lacking? Can I blame to my audience? I'm not getting the right type of audience, or my audience doesn't deserve this kind of data. Can I say something like that?
So Prabhas, presentation is missing.
Okay, what kind of presentation in your opinion you were supposed to do?
I mean, the way it should be presented to my manager.
Okay.
So that should be in a proper manner. So
yeah, you tell
that's
me.
what.
You tell me. As you have learned from day 1 to day 2 so far, based on that, I'm not asking do some extraordinary stuffs over here. Based on that, if you want to share something, okay, Prabhas, this can be done. You tell me, no problem.
Format as a table or maybe cell style you can use.
Okay, so I have gone over here. Okay, you wanted me to format as a table. I did it.
Yeah,
I did
format
it.
as a table, then we can use a different cell styles to represent the data.
Okay, different cell styles in the sense like you want to go for changing the alternate cell colors one by one. Do you have that time? You will be doing that much of time? Do you have?
But if you want to present the data,
Right, I did
better to
it.
present it
I did it. Whatever you said, I did it. Converted the data into tabular format. Alternate rows are highlighted. But where you want me to apply the cell style in the top
But
row item?
it is not differentiating the departments. Like it is having the same colors.
Right. So you want to differentiate the department. So I'll select like this. I'll go to home tab, cell style. This is one style. Then I'll go for administration one by one, wherever it is there. This is also, I'll be making one bucket. Is this so?
But again, it will take time.
Right.
Selecting and everything.
See,
So in one go, how can we?
doing the cosmetics works. If you go and spend time, then it is of no use of doing the job. That is not giving a value addition. That is just a window dressing to my data. Got my point? Garnishing
Right.
work, you should not take much time. So what is it missing? Can you see that? Okay, no problem. No problem.
Conditional formatting. Conditional formatting.
Okay, conditional formatting. What you can do with
Conditional,
conditional
yeah.
formatting?
Like we can use the color scales. We can use the data bars.
Where? In which column? In salary column?
You have to differentiate something like different. Yeah, we can
Yeah,
use
you
that.
tell me. That's what I'm asking. How? See, that is it's a real-time
For
discussion we are
department, we
doing.
can use that.
If I want to use conditional formatting, you told me that conditional formatting can be used. So should I use the conditional formatting in my salary column?
You can use it department-wise. Department-wise.
Department-wise. Okay, department-wise, what kind of conditional formatting you are expecting? Is
Like
it
coloring the scales.
color scales? So if I go for color scales now in this, suppose if I select the color scales home tab, I have gone for conditional formatting color scales. So how I am going to define this? It will come like this.
So you can add rules. You can add rules. New rules and all.
New rules. Okay, I got for new rules. Okay, what I can do in this?
Depending upon the text color or values
Right.
or something.
So if it contains accounting, this color, if it is admin, this color, if it is finance, this color. So again, multiple times I have to go for coloring, right? So again, it's a time-taking job. Doesn't make much value addition. Okay, fine then. So I'm glad you participated in the discussion. So you can now you would have understood where the things are lacking with. I repeat that question again. We are spending our time giving our efforts to the data to make it better, but our audience is not happy watching the same. So there is no point of doing such kind of task when people are not happy, because our data, what we are presenting, that is not meant for us. It is meant for the audience. So audience has to be satisfied with your presentation. And why they are not happy? Because we have done maximum sorting work. So sorting is anybody's job. Anybody can do the sorting. Did you do anything extraordinary in this? Think about it. Did we do anything extraordinary except sorting?
Maybe we can create a pivot for this.
That is just a summarization of data. See, people have never expected the summary you have to prepare over here. All right. Anyway.
We can add more, in terms of what is the years of experience in each department. And
okay, so you want, okay, so you have learned a deadly formula. We can go for adding one more column of number of years of experience. We can go for that. So adding one more column, if you are happy increasing your file size, you can do that. All right, no worries. Now, let me take you through the same. Whatever people have demanded, we are going to present the same only, but our presentation style would be different. So now the objective is, whenever people are demanding something, how to make your presentation different from others so that you can back some appreciation at your workplace or whomever. So you are presenting the people to, or your audience watching the data, they will be giving a compliment to your work. So how to make it better? Let's see. So we have a data set number 2 towards our right side. Please go for that. Start doing along with me. Select your data, Control A. Go for data sorting. Go for data sorting. So sort by, now first you go for salary. No more department. So sort by salary. And order, you choose largest to smallest. Okay. Now the moment you click OK, you could notice we have got our data arranged in largest to smallest order in the salary column. That's fine. Now go to Home tab, Format as Table over here. Day one, we have seen how to make use of Format as Table. So here we should go for light or medium. Don't go for the dark. I told you the reason why not to go for the dark option. Anybody quickly?
Increases file size.
Very good. So take one. Yes, absolutely, sir. Radha. Thanks, Radha, remembering the same. Okay. Now going to any of the medium and click that, and immediately a dialog box appears, and click OK over here. And when you click OK, you can see immediately a beautiful alternate rows are highlighted, formatting patterns, everything are embedded in my data. Now,
I just
once,
missed
yeah,
everything. Can you just tell once again? Like I just my system got stuck. So I'm with you, but just that I selected what is the first selection department and
no. First selection is through sorting the data based on the salary.
based on the salary. Okay.
Yeah, that is the only thing first you do. Now the second
Okay.
thing is after
Last
selecting the
one,
data,
right?
going to, yeah, going to home, format as table, take one medium category out of this.
Okay.
Then keeping the cursor in the table anywhere or the data anywhere, you'll be finding a design or table design option in the extreme right of the ribbon menu. It is coming up. And there is an option naming called over here, filter button. It shows define that it is activated. You got to deactivate that. And once you deactivate, your filter buttons disappeared from your table. Okay. Now kindly keep your cursor above to the date of joining cell, just above to the date of joining. And there, define a text naming called total. Define the text naming called total. If you want, you can make it some colorful changes, up to you. Then next to the total cell, type equal to and go for a formula naming called subtotal. It's a very powerful and bit peculiar formula. Why peculiar? Because in subtotal formula itself, many more formulas you can see. Sum, count, average, product, minimum, maximum, all these things are there. So out of this, we are going to choose the sum formula. And when you see the sum, what is the number it is assigned to the sum formula is 9. So you can type manually 9 in the subtotal formula itself, or you can go for double click on sum. It is also going to embed 9 formula number over there in the formula bar. Now, comma, we have declared sum formula to be applied, but where is nothing but our entire salary. So select your entire salary. And the moment you hit enter, are you getting the same total as I'm showing on the screen? 29,11,878. Did you get the same? Now, once we have done with this over here, then what we can do, let's have a discussion. Keeping your cursor in the table, go to same table design or design extreme right tab, whatever you have. We have an option called insert slicer. We have an option over here called insert slicer. So I believe everybody is able to see that insert slicer. Okay. Now, when I go for this insert slicer over here, then it takes me to a slicer dialog box like this. Okay. And there you can see one slicer name called department checkbox is not activated. You can activate and click OK. So a dialog box appears that you can hold by the slicer name called department and drag it next to the data like this. And see the beauty now. When I am presenting my data to my boss asked me, Prabha, show me HR. I just click the human resource from the department box. Only HR related records will be displayed. And what is the total salary of HR? It is there in the top. What is the highest salary? It is there in the first row. What is the lowest salary? It is in the bottom row. If he wants immediately, Prabha, show me admin records, I can click administration. If he wants me to show both admin and HR, So selecting admin, holding the control button. If I go for HR, all the records related to admin and HR both will be displayed. Now, once my presentation is over, if I want to restore my data, on that department slicer top right corner, there is a clear filter dialog box option is over here. So you can click that and your data will be restored. Now just imagine looking at the same, keeping yourself at the audience side or source. Which option people will prefer the most to see the data? Option 1 or option 2?
Option 2.
Definitely. That will be anybody's choice. See, the same thing we are presenting, nothing much, but our presentation style is a bit different and people will love to see that because people want something unique or some innovations in your presentation or some creativity in your style. That is where you are going to make your presentation different from others. So hope the sorting, whatever the exercise we did, it is clear for everyone. Any questions from anybody?
Just show me, where did you get the data slicer from? Just one minute.
Yeah, you can keep your cursor in the table, going to design or table design, whatever your extreme right tab is there. There is an option called insert slicer.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
I have a question, Prabhat.
Please.
If I didn't put this total, right?
Okay.
Let's assume I didn't say is equal to
Subtotal.
subtotal and then that formula.
Right.
And but then I did create the table.
Okay.
And then I inserted the
Slicer.
slicer, like
Okay.
you said.
Okay.
Then would it still work and
Yes.
show me other options?
Yes, it will work. See, that is nowhere connected. Subtotal is a different property altogether. This is connected to my data. If it is missing, so it will work. That is nowhere related to the total. Still, it will work.
Okay, so it's only going to show in the table.
Right.
Whereas if you also have a connected part to the table, then that part also kind of fluctuates.
Yes. Yes. So basically, in one line, without touching the data, we are controlling the entire information from outside. All right, so sorting work is over. Now we'll go for our next sheet, naming called multi-DB filter. Okay, now please stay focused. What is the data we have? We have got two plants data over here. Suppose my organization does have two plants. Say Tata Motors, we have a plant in Pune, we have a plant in Jamshedpur, suppose say. Now this is what the Jamshedpur plant's data and this is Pune plant's data. Assume over here. Now, what my boss is saying that Prabhas from Jamshedpur plant, I want to see only Karnataka related records. And in Pune plant, I want to see only April month record. I repeat, from Jamshedpur plant, only Karnataka records. From Pune plant, only April month records boss wants to see. So what we do, we go for simple filter. We'll go to Jamshedpur plant data, Karnataka, right click, filter, selected by cell value. So from Jamshedpur, I could see all the Karnataka related information. Done. Now next what? Pune plant April month record. So when I go to Pune plant month April, right click, filter, selected cell value, what happens? Though Pune plant data is getting filtered and displayed on the screen, but Jamshedpur plant data has gone. The filter gets deactivated. So what you have understood from the entire exercise, what I showed you, that whenever you have got multiple data sets in one interface or one worksheet, you can apply filter only to one data set, not more than one. So this is what the drawback with filter. Now, when I said all these things to my boss was not convinced with my answer or reply. He said, no, Prabhas, what you're saying is not true. It's absolutely wrong. I have seen people doing that. I have seen the big four firms when they were presenting. I saw multiple tables were there. They were able to apply or showcase filters over here. So I don't have any date. I don't have any idea. Then can I ask a question to my boss? So then why don't you ask there to big four people that how did they apply filter over there? Can I ask a question like this to my boss? What say? We cannot ask this kind of question in return, isn't it? So here he is expecting the same from me. All right. As such, trust me, since 1985 till 2003 version of Microsoft Excel, this was a quite impossible task. And here, if you ask people what they say, oh, hey, why are you struggling? Go to the data set 2, cut it, paste it in a different sheet and apply filter. As if we do not know how to apply filter, they share the knowledge. That doesn't work actually. So same worksheet, multiple data sets, how to apply filter. See, here we can play a simple trick. What is the trick? Go to our first plant, that is Jamshedpur plant data, Control A. Convert your data into table. To convert your data into table, Control T, T for Tango, T for table. So when you press Control T, it will be taking you to this kind of dialog box, create table, and the moment you hit enter, you will be getting your table data converted. All right. Now, which region data he is expecting? He is expecting from Karnataka. So I have gone for Karnataka. Okay. I got my data filter. Now, what is the next plant? Pune plant. Which month data? April. So I'll go for simple right click, filter, and does the operation. It's done. So can you imagine? One more advantage of your format as table option. When you convert your data into format as table, even though you have got more than one data set in a particular worksheet, you can showcase your result. So this will be very, very helpful whenever you want to showcase multiple scenarios in one interface. So simple, convert your data into table. Control T. Hope this works. Multiple department wise data, multiple product wise data, region wise data, customer wise data, anything you want to showcase, you can showcase in one single worksheet. So that's the story of our multi-DB filter. Right, people? Any questions from anybody? So hope all this is clear so far, whatever we have discussed. All right. So kindly save all your workbooks. With this, we'll go for a short break of 10 minutes. So it will be a kind of bio break or tea or coffee break, anything, whichever you feel good, you can do that. So use 10 minutes time. So in my system, it is 4:27. I consider 3 minutes grace, 4:30. So dot 4:40 p.m. Again, we are going to resume our session. All right. So I'll be mute. I'll be back in 10 minutes time. So I believe everybody's back. Could you please respond in the chat box? Why for yes? And Rajesh, if you can hear me, could you please share your screen? So are you there, Rajesh? Can you hear me? Okay, so now let's go and discuss our next sheet over here, naming called data visualization. So we have seen so far playing around with the numbers, how to apply necessary formula, functions, and bit of data arrangement styles, and how to present it differently. Those things we have seen. Now we are going to see how to present our numbers with more visual format so that people would be happy, and there will be a value additions to the work also. And why there is a need of visuals over there in the numbers? The reason is, as I told you in the day one, today I'm also again repeating, nowadays the audience is having a different level of expectation. And what's that? Mere presenting the data in numbers, those days are gone. Nobody wants to see your numbers, billions, billions, lakhs, crores. Nobody wants to see that. So basically, people prefer to see the data in terms of visuals. So that will be adding more appeal towards your presentation, and you can present it effectively to the next level. So what are the visual styles we do have? How to present it effectively? We are going to discuss one by one. So we have a situation one. Suppose say my boss asked me, Prabhas, whatever the products we are selling to our customers, get me the entire revenue report. So I consolidate all our month-wise, product-wise Excel sheets I have prepared, everything I have consolidated, and this is the final summary I have made it. All right. Now over here, let's go and create a column naming called visual next to the UST, make it visual. And select your cells as I selected on my screen. Then type equal to, take the value from left. Type equal to, take the value from left and hit Control Enter. Control Enter. So once your data is ready in this format, let's discuss further. Okay, so Rajesh, if you can hear me, could you please share your screen? Let me see what is that missing.
It supports how to share. Hello.
Yes, Rajesh, I can hear you. Tell me.
Could you please support how to share the screen?
Yeah. In your laptop, did you open MS Teams in your laptop?
I open.
Okay, once you log in with that meeting link, what I have shared in day 2 link, if you log in.
Yes, I log.
Okay, there is the next to the mic option, we have a sharing button. Next to the mic option, we have a sharing button. If you click that sharing button, there will be an option called screen or desktop. Screen or desktop, something would be there. Right, it's getting loaded. Okay. See, this is not the file I have shared. That's what I told you. You are working with the wrong file. This is not the file. This is the file I have shared yesterday to you. You close this. Go to that email attachment sample case studies folder, a zip folder. You would have got it. You close this file.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, this is the file.
This is correct, sir.
No, this is not the file even. You close this. Don't open this file. Close this. You go to your mail. In mail, we have shared a zip folder. A zip folder. There is a lot many files were there. Naming called file name called corporate case studies. No, Rajesh. You open your mail. I will tell you. You open your mail, please.
Today 11 o'clock I received the mail.
No, that's not the one. Earlier one you would have received. You would have received one more mail where sample case studies one is attached. If it is not there in your inbox, please check your junk or spam. Please check your junk or spam. There is a mail you would have received from us.
Ma'am was around 11 attachment only available. Before it was
No, no. How did you work yesterday, Rajesh? How did you work yesterday?
Yesterday, actually, I listened only to mobile. I already informed. Regarding I am during travel, I don't. I listened to the video.
Just give me a second.
But yesterday evening, I received the recording.
No, Rajesh, before recording, we sent us all the sample case studies when we asked in the group
No,
to
no.
confirm.
No, sir, I didn't get this. Sorry. Because today after I am working only in dance center.
Can you just check your mail? You please open your mail over here.
It is visible.
No, I can't see. I can see only the Excel file. You can reshare again. Open your mail and reshare the screen.
Now it is
Yeah, you go to spam.
spam only.
Check 12th. We have sent already one file. Or go to inbox now. Please go to inbox now. Go up.
Yes.
You go to search, go to the search box. There you type in the search box, you type BDM.
Yep.
Excel for all. Yeah, you got the first one. See, the first one. Yeah, first one.
This is recording attachment, sir.
No. You the first one. Yeah. Open that. See, there is a zip folder already there, right? Sample case studies.
Okay, sorry.
No, it's no problem. You just download that. From there, you open the file corporate case studies, and that you work over here. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. So now over here, we were discussing. So let me take a control back on the screen. So anybody's mic is on, please consider the mic to put on mute. Well, so we have discussed about that. We have got the USD data and we have created a clone of that by putting a reference with equal to. So you could have asked me, Privas, we could have gone for direct copy paste. Why did you take a long route of like putting into a reference? Reason is very simple. Tomorrow, whenever we change the data of USD column, it will be giving the equal amount of impact to my visual column. All right. Now selecting the visual column data, whatever we have, if I go to my home tab, conditional formatting, we have an option called data bars. And in data bars, if you see, it opens up with two broad categories like gradient fill and solid fill. So you can take from anything from the gradient fill. So I like this color the most, the light blue data bar. If you like, you can take it, or else you can take your own style, not an issue. The moment you go and apply this, little bit expand the column, what kind of feeling you are getting? Yes, people? Please share your viewpoint on this. If I look this data, keeping yourself in the audience views, what kind of feeling you are getting?
A graphical feeling.
Okay. So more or less, it seems like a bar chart, right? But technically, how it is different from bar chart, let's have a discussion. See, if you really create a bar chart from this data, the data will be in different location, bar chart will be in separate location. But here, bars are exclusively applied on the cells. Advantage number one. Advantage number two, if you really create a bar chart out of this data, it will be occupying more space of the file. But here, it is going to hardly occupy some space in KBs. That's the beauty. So this is how the moment you have some raw data in place, you can add more visuals like this and people will love to see that. But the question is over here, it's just a simple feature of Excel. Going to conditional formatting, data bars, anybody can apply that. So now the turn comes, how to make our presentation different from others. See the beauty. Select your entire visual columns, whatever the data you have, not the column header, only the data points. Any point of time, if you happen to see the backend rule of conditional formatting, you must select the conditional formatting options. Going to home, conditional formatting, we have an option called manage rules. So when I go for this manage rules option, you will be finding a rule manager turns up like this. And there we go for edit rule. And when I go for this edit rule, it will show me the backstage view. Like this is the place where you want to change the color of the bars. You want to add some outline to the bars. Everything, whatever you want, you can customize and change over here. But one beautiful thing over here, which I would like to share is there is an option called show bar only. The checkbox is not activated. Show bar only. This you have to activate and click OK. And again, click OK to come out of your edit tool option and see the beauty. What happens? What kind of feeling you are getting now? Trust me, when you are presenting your data, people will prefer to see this and this. Nobody is willing to see these numbers and trying to read and make out, because visuals are giving the instant information compared to your numbers. Do you agree with me? Right, people? So I have presented like this. Definitely my audience is going to be happy. And suppose my boss asked me, Prabhas, why don't you get the same in PowerPoint? See the beauty. I need to hardly struggle in PowerPoint. When I go for my PowerPoint, I'm trying to present it over there with no time. How to make my presentation, you can have a look. Simply, I'll go for image, and this is going to add more beauty. And this kind of high definition gradients over here, this is not there available in PowerPoint. And when you go and present the record over there in PowerPoint, this kind of features will be adding more charm. And you no need to struggle much with regard to formatting anything, because it's already done in Excel. So that's what the beauty. So this is what one of the visual style we have got it, naming called data bars over there from conditional formatting, and how to add more visual appeal over there. We have seen that. And trust me, this is very, very helpful whenever you go for, again, some dashboards, templates, tabular reports you are creating, you can add the visuals like this. Okay. Hope everybody is getting the same. Any doubt, any queries so far, whatever we did?
One question from us.
Please.
If you want to have numbers, right, on the bars, I saw that your numbers were aligned to the right. How do you do that?
Well, you can go for the numbers only. Like suppose say I had the numbers over here. I can just simply go for this numbers. You can align right alignment. I take an example over here. Home, conditional formatting, manage rules, edit rule. Over here, I remove this show bar only option and click OK. So numbers you can align to the right side. So if you want to make it center, Alt H A C. If you want to make it left, Alt H A L. If you want to make it right, Alt H A R.
Okay, so that's independent of the bar. Okay.
Yes. Yes, any other questions from anybody, people? All right, now kindly stay focused. One more beautiful things I would like to tell you about here is, see, again, regarding the presentation part, okay? Nowadays, as I told you, audience is having a different level of expectation. And when you present your data as it is, nobody likes it. And what audience is expecting? That you should present your data in such a way, it should tell the story to the people. So you should not write a paragraph and ask them to read it. Nobody have that much of time also. So you should make your data efficient enough in such a way, it should tell the story. So even though a layman is also sitting in the audience side, he can make out what is what, but how to make it, let's see. I will select this product and USD column, and I will go for my data sorting. And when I go for my data sorting, sort by the USD column and choose largest to smallest and click OK and see the beauty now. The beautiful story turns up. What is that? Anybody, whoever is watching my data, he can make out from category 12, we are making the maximum revenue. From category 4, we are generating the least revenue. So seeing the bars itself, it is making the story. And here, the moment I have got the data ready in Excel, the same when I'm going to my PowerPoint to present it, see the beauty? When I'm presenting the same to my audience over here, which one audience is going to prefer, option 1 or option 2? Yes, people? I gave you all the options, so you have to decide. So this is how small things makes a huge difference. So you have to present all these things. So this is how we have understood whenever you have in your data, how to make it expressive in terms of a storytelling format. Hope everybody is able to do that. Any doubt, any queries in our situation number 1? All right, now see another beauty of doing the same. Stay focused again, please. If you look at all our visuals, how the bars directions are, it is always from left to right. You can see always from left to right. Why? Because all the places value is positive. What if I have a negative value any point of time? Of course, the directions of the bar would be opposite, right to left. And if at all it is negative, what should be the color of the bar? Should be red. Let's see. Suppose I go to my category 3, I change the value -4500. Some negative value, I deliberately put it over here. See the beauty. Instantly, the ready-made inbuilt formatting will be applied. I don't need to go for a separate actions for doing the same. So this is what the beauty of your data bar style. So whenever there is a negative, you are going to grab the audience attentions towards that immediately. And this is how the visually it is getting, giving more clarity over there with regard to the data to interpret. So this is how the situation 1 we have understood how our data bar style is making a lot of difference while presenting the data along with the numbers. All right. Now we'll go for our situation number 2. So when we go for situation number 2, same data is there, category and USD. Let's go and create a new column naming called visual. So let's see what are the other presentation purpose tools we do have. So select your USD column data only, not the header. Select your USD column data only, not the header. Then going to insert, there is a category options over here called sparklines. So in the sparkline group, there are three different types of sparklines are available, like line, column, win or loss. These options are available only in 2010 and above versions of Excel. It was not there earlier. So Rajesh, you are working in 2007 version of Excel. These features will be missing.
Oh,
Now,
okay, sir. Okay, sir.
yeah. Now the moment I go for this over here, there is a column option over here, you can see. So I can go and click column. So when I click column, this will be demanding a dialog box stating that where is your data? Data is already selected. Where is the location? Location, you can keep your cursor and choose the first cell from the visual column. So when I select my first cell of the visual column and click OK, I can see some kind of visual impressions over here. It is created, but that is not so clear. So what we can do is, along with that cell, kindly select the rest. Don't drag it, because if you drag, it will be giving a different impression. So kindly select all these cells. Then going to the home tab, you have a merge options over here, merge and center in the home tab, formatting group or alignment group, merge and center. You can click that and automatically what will be happening? This is going to give a visual option over here, more or less like a column chart, isn't it? So if you want a little bit, you can expand it so that you can give more clarity. And as I told you, when you are presenting your data, present it in such a way, it should tell the story to the people. So select your category and USD, right? And go for data sorting. Right click on that sorting, custom sort. Then choose sort by USD and order, take it largest to smallest. The moment you do this and click OK, with immediate effect, a beautiful story turns up. The highest column is about the first category. The lowest column is about the last category. So highest column, which category? Category 12, making the maximum revenue. Lowest category, category 4, making the least revenue. So anybody can make out, and this is the story. You can present it perfectly. So what is this about? This is about our insert group is sparklines, and within that column sparkline. Right, people? Hope you are getting the same sparklines. Any doubt, any queries? Anybody needs my support?
Can you tell once again from where did we get the sparklines?
Yeah, it is not home, from insert. Select,
From
yeah,
insert?
selecting USD data, going to insert, there is a sparkline group, and in that sparkline group, three different types of sparklines are there. You have to choose column.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I just selected one. Sir.
Right, no problem. So we got our sparkline options over here, right? Now suppose say I want to give more value additions to my sparkline data. Okay, what we can do in this, see the beauty. So first 1 minute, you please watch my screen. I have selected my visual column, whatever I have created. Okay, immediately you see one extreme right, one tab is activated, naming, sparkline, tools, options, design, depending upon the version of your Excel. But there would be a tab, and there you have an option called marker color. I repeat, marker color, not sparkline color, marker color. High point, you can separately define in terms of green. Again, marker color. Low point, you can define in terms of red. So this is the customization you can do depending upon your need, and you can add more beauty towards your sparkline presentation. So the maximum one, the highest column, category 12, green color, and the category 4, the least one, it is in red color. You have got it. And how this is being presented, if you see, all the columns are always going with the upward trend, from the axis always going towards up. because all the places value is positive. What if I have a negative any point of time? Should be below to the axis. And if it is a negative, what should be the color of that particular column? Should be red. See the beauty? The moment I go for changing the category 3 for the timing to -4500, am I getting immediately highlighted over there? So this is what the beauty of your Sparkline. So please check, is it happening with you also? Or anything is missing or did not get it? Do let me know. Well, can you please share your screen, Nora, so that I can see where is the things missing? I can directly hit to that. Yes, Nora, can you please share your screen?
2 seconds.
Yeah.
I'll share.
Yeah.
Can you see?
No, not yet. Did you share your screen or window? What did you do exactly?
Screen.
Okay. I'm not able to see that. Yeah, it's getting loaded. Yes. So first you create a column next to UST, create a column. No, don't do like that. Just keep the cursor next to UST. Yeah, keep the cursor there and type visual. Then expand the column a bit. Expand the column a bit. Yeah. Then select your visual column, first cell. Okay. Visual column, first cell. This is the place where we are going to design our Sparkline. For that purpose, we need to select our data. So go to USD column and select your entire data from USD column. Then go to insert. Go to insert menu in the ribbon. And there you see Sparkline column, absolutely right. Click that. And select the location. Yes. Just take that window box little bit outside. Take that window box. No, don't click OK. Take that window box, hold and drag it bit up. Yes. Now select visual column, first cell. Visual column, first cell. Yeah. Click OK. Now select the rest of the cells. No, don't drag it. Don't drag it. Select the rest of the cells. No, don't go for mouse. You have to, don't go for the keyboard shortcut. You have to select with mouse only. Or right. Perfect. Then go to your home tab and go for merge and center. In the alignment group, merge option is there. Merging the cells you do.
Where?
In the alignment group, see, you have the alignment options are there, right? Left, right, center, alignment, everything is there. Or can you see a dollar? Yeah, in the same line, towards the right, a little bit right, immediate right, you're going left. Yes, that's the option merge. You go and click the merge option, merge and center. And then select your category and USD column both. Category and USD column both, including the headers. Go for data sorting. Data sorting. Right click, sort, custom sort.
Data sorting.
Yeah, there is a sort option is there. Sort. And go for custom sort. Custom sort. Then sort by USD. And order you change largest to smallest. And then keep your cursor in the visual column cell. Yeah. Then you can see a sparkline tab is activated in the extreme right of your ribbon menu. Extreme right of your ribbon option. Yes. Click on that. And you have option towards your right, marker color, not sparkline color, marker color. Yes. Then you go and go for high point. Choose green. High point, choose green. Similarly, again go to marker color, low point, you make it red. And then for checking, you can use a value as negative. Suppose say category 3, you change something to negative. Category 3, from the category column, category 3.
Category
3. There is a category number 3. Up to, see, 10, 3. Yeah, that value you just change. That value alone you change to something negative, -4500 or something else. Hit enter. You will be finding automatically it is highlighting with the exact formatting, whatever you were expecting, correct?
Right.
So this is how you can add more visuals with regard to our sparklines and make your data presentation more even better. So I'm taking the control back on the screen.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome. So now we are going to see the another option of the situation number 3, how to add more visual impressions over here, or what are the other tools we do have to make it better. So now we are going to do some historical comparison of the data. See, category wise, we have got the revenue for 2019 and 2020 as well. So if this is the case, then how to present our data effectively, we are going to discuss. All right. Now, in this case, what we can do, first of all, we'll go and create a new column or insert a new column. So basically 2 new columns, you please insert next to 2020. The first column name is supposed to be growth. Second column name has to be visual. Now, growth. What should be the growth column formula? Anybody? Basic mathematics. Equal to 2020 minus 2019. Do you agree with the formula? All right, control enter. So you got your growth column ready. Similarly, select your visual column and take equal to growth column and control enter. So you'll be having your visual column also ready with the similar values. So please confirm once your data is ready so that I can take it to the next level. Okay, Shalini and Anuradha, they have confirmed. How about the others? Friends, please help me.
So, Prabhas, what's the formula for growth?
2020 minus 2019, the value.
And for visual, we go with
As usual, visual just connected to my growth column.
yes. Done.
Right, very good. Now, once we have done with this over here, let's select our visual column, data only, not the header, only the data points. Okay, then going to our home tab, conditional formatting, we have an option called icon sets. We have an option called icon sets. Okay. When you open that icon sets, it comes with 4 broad categories, naming called directionals, shapes, indicators, and ratings. It depends on the data, what type of data you are handling, and whichever the icon sets rules suits you the best, you can use it. There is no hard and fast rule, or Microsoft has never designed any kind of tutorial. If you're in finance or accounts, you take this, or if you're in admin HR, you should take this rule. There is no such kind of hard and fast rule. It's up to you. So for the time being, I am taking the directional 3 key options. The first one is called 3 different arrow keys is there. I have taken that and I've clicked it. So what is happening? This is being applied over here. Okay, very good. Now, if you look at the data, somewhat it looks better. Yes. Now let us analyze the situation. What we have. Green color up arrow key. It's a simple message compared to 2019, 2020, volume is increasing. Red color down arrow key. Compared to last year, business is decreasing. How about the yellow color keys over here, arrow keys? Wherever it is increasing, that is also there. Wherever decreasing, also it is available. So how to interpret that? So instead of giving an information, it is rather confusing to my audience. Do you agree with that? Yes, people? What's that? Keeping yourself in the audience, if you look at, does it make any sense? No. So in this case, suppose say I presented my data to my boss watched the data and immediately he asked the question, Prabhas, what is this? Then I was completely speechless. Then I said, sir, I do not have any idea. I just thought if I apply, it will be adding more value. So I applied it. So now my boss is saying, no, something will be there. It is really confusing. So do one thing, make a very simple rule. Compared to last year, if it is increasing, green color up arrow key. If it is decreasing, red color down arrow key. If in case it is remaining the same, there is no growth or degrowth, it should be the yellow color arrow key. If I need to customize my rule according to the need like this, then how to deal with? See, just focus for 1 minute on my screen. Next 1 minute you can try. I have selected my visual column. I have gone by my home tab, conditional formatting. I told you to see any point of time, any backend stage of the rule is manage rules. There, edit rule. And when I go for edit rule, this is the place where I need to do the necessary changes. Now, if you see over here, what happens? Our data is there in numbers, but here it is showing percent. So this is what first change we have to do. What is the change? Like going to type, number, again type, number. Now the next change, what you need to do over here is, it is showing green color icon will be applied where more than equal to it is showing. So technically we do not want more than equal to, we just want only greater than. So I can go to that and I can change it to greater than. Now all the rules are set, but one more thing which is really pending over here and we need to initiate that action is show icon only. Can you see this option is not enabled? So I have to enable this. And finally, I can go and click OK. So what we did, we changed the data type from percent to number. Then we have changed our operator to greater than, and we have selected show icon only and clicked OK. So once I do all these changes and click OK, and again click OK, see the beauty? Immediately, it will be transforming my data, and people will love to see this column and this column to read it. Nobody is interested reading all these three columns of data, intermediary, whatever you have. So this is self-explanatory. This is giving the answer that category 1, we are making good business. Category 2 also making good business. So this is how people can interpret. But finally, do not forget to present your data in a proper story format. How? Selecting the entire data, going for data sorting. Sort by, go for growth column. And growth column, you take it as largest to smallest. So you can see the beauty, all these cases where we are making the maximum revenue or increasing trend, it will be there in the beginning. And where it is in decreasing trend, it will be there in the bottom. So audience will what exactly they want, when they are happy by watching the presentation, that data alone, we are giving more emphasis. And of course, we need to analyze these are the cases why there is a decrease in the revenue, and how to make it good, that's a different story altogether. But how to present our data effectively in terms of icon sets, that we discussed. So give it a try. Any difficulties, do let me know. And where these options are, it is there in our home tab, conditional formatting and icon sets.
Thomas, I have one question.
Please.
In the visual, right now we are simply showing if it is greater than 0, then you go green, and if it's less than 0, then you go red, right?
Absolutely.
If we wanted to compare 19 and 20 and say that if what is in 20 is greater than what is there in 19, then you go green. If it is at the same, then probably something else, and then lower. So that comparison also can be put into the same cells? Will it reference to both the cells?
That is what we did. See, the growth column is nothing but comparing the data from 2019 to 2020. If it is increasing, that is what we are comparing over here. This is what this comparison statement. So what else you want to add on this?
Okay, so we cannot directly say if this cell is greater than that. That's why we do the
No. That kind of conditional statements you cannot give in icon sets, because that is the ready-made rule. We do have whatever. If you want to use your own rules, then you have to select, and there you have to go for home tab, conditional formatting. You have a new rule.
Okay.
So if you want to customize your own rule, you have to go for new rule. You have all these options, like use a formula, determine which cells to format. There you can write as many as lengthy formula of if condition, you can write it. Like said, I will precisely present you. Suppose say you have got the budget versus actuals and target versus actuals, mostly when you present it. In those cases, what you need to do, take an example. Now suppose say, I'm selecting 3 columns. Okay. Over here, I pasted it. Now suppose say this is my target data and this is my actual data. Now what I want to do is over here in the actual column, I want to apply a conditional formatting rule in such a way, if my actual is more than the target, actual column value should be green. If it is less than the target, actual column value should be red. That makes sense?
Yes.
If that is the case, going to home tab, conditional formatting, new rules, going to this over here, use a formula to determine which cells to format, going for equal to this cell. When I take this my actual cell, can you see it is coming up with my cell locking? Entire cell is locked.
Right.
But I don't want my cell to be locked, because I need to check all the rest of the cells also. So when my conditional formatting should be applied for rest of the cells also. So in that case, we need to first remove this dollar symbol. So going for equal to this cell, I need to remove my dollar symbol. I have to turn the cell into general cell by hitting the F4 keys. Okay. Then if it is more than the target, so again, target is locked. So I should keep it free. Hope this is clear.
Yes.
Now, once it is satisfied, then formatting. What is that you want? If my actual is more than the target, I should go for color green. And if I want to make the font color bold and I want to make it white, all these things options are there. It's up to you to customize. So it will be format output comes like this. Now click OK. So can you see now, wherever my actual is more than the target, those cases, it is coming up over here as green. All right.
Okay.
Similarly, just the opposite logic you have to again apply, going to home, conditional formatting, your manage rules, new rule over here, use formula equal to this cell, again make it free, less than your target. That also you make it free. And once this is on, going for format, fill color, red, font color, the color should be white and make it bold. And okay. Now, if I go and change this tomorrow, the value target, suppose it is changing for category 7, I have made it is of, suppose say 6,000. Then the actual automatically changes, right? Hope this is clear, how to define the formula-driven conditional formatting.
Yes, that's clear.
Right.
One more thing, Prabha.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if, let's assume that I wanted to do all this in column N. So I can do exactly the same thing there where I say,
Absolutely.
if K is greater than J, do so and so, and I can link it to any icon also, right? I should be able to insert an icon there.
No, icon, that is what I'm telling. Those icons cannot be defined. If you go to icon sets and all, you cannot customize this icon. There is no such kind of privilege. You can write your own if formulas over there like this. So if I go for this over here, home tab, conditional formatting, manage rules, I don't have such kind of options to go for if conditions and all.
Okay.
That is the only trouble. So whatever it is predefined and what is the maximum, only can change the values and all, you can work around. But when you want to have your own condition, you have to always go for this option. Use a formula to determine which cells to format. So this is about our situation 3 people. I believe everybody successfully applied this. Any doubt, any queries before proceeding further? Now, we are going to discuss about our next situation, that is called situation number 4. Okay. Here again, I'm going to give you a beautiful information nowadays, which is more popular and trendy in terms of dashboards or summary reports or any kind of visual presentations when you are doing in the corporate world, which is more popular nowadays. Or if you see the McKinsey reports or Bain and Company reports or the Big Four presentations, they use the most. So what is that exactly? Why it is so popular? I'll let you know. See, no need to do anything. First, look at my screen. So there is a new report comes up in the market. What's that? I'll tell you. So this is called our people graph. So what's the beauty in the people graph is whenever you want to showcase your human resource related records or the training expenses or how much salary we have paid with regard to the department wise, people wise, or anything you want to showcase related to human resource. So along with the data numbers, if you add this kind of icons, that will be adding more value. So giving a cool look, you can see also, this is one. Similarly, whenever you are presenting your revenue data, which is more popular nowadays is this kind of your dollar back kind of symbol that is adding more beauty. So people prefer to see this kind of presentation the most nowadays. So now the question is how to prepare all these things. So first thing it comes to our mind, is it really done in Excel? Yes, it is done in Excel only, no other tools. But how to do that? I'm going to take you through. So first, stay focused on my screen over here, how it works and what exactly we are going to do. 2013 and above versions of Excel, we have got a very beautiful feature added in the Insert tab, naming called over here, People Graph. What is that? Insert tab, you'll be having an option called People Graph. A green color icon would be there, you might be having. So just check it out, respective people. Those who are having Excel versions installed 2013 and above, do you see such kind of icon over there? If you are not finding, maybe you are using the office laptop, you may not be having the administrator right, or that would not be enabled. So don't be panic. You can take the help of your IT and get it installed, because this is one of the Microsoft Office property. You are not using any external add-in, or there might be a threat of losing the confidentiality. So don't worry about it. All right. So are you having that people graph? Okay, Priya is having. How about the others? Insert people graph. Nora, you might be having, just check it out, because your Office 365 is there. I saw that. Anju and Sudipto. Okay, Anju, which version you are working with? Yes, Moiras, what is your version?
Sorry, I was on mute. It's Microsoft 365 apps.
Then you must be
Mine
having.
is also Office 365, but it is locked. It is not.
Okay,
It is
okay.
It's
enabled.
locked. Mine is also locked. Yeah.
Fine, no problem. Let me first showcase that. And one of your screen, at least I'll go and help you out if it is possible. If it is not, then we have to take the help of IT. Okay. So see how it works. Anyway, Nora, I got it. So now see the beauty. I have got this department-wise headcounts data. I'll go to insert and I'll go to that people graph. When I go for it, the application will start loading over here. It's loaded. See. And this is just one-time job. First time it will take a little bit of time to load it. So now once it is ready, it is taking its own ready-made data. But how to connect this with my data? So here in this application, you'll be getting two options over here in the top. That is called, one is called edit data and the other one is called settings. Okay, this is called edit data and this is called setting. This is for editing purpose, data editing, and this is for settings to change the icons and rest of things. You can do it over here. So first I'll go for my data to set it across. So going to edit data. Here I can change the title of my graphical presentation or the charts, whatever I am showing it. So this is suppose say with regard to head count, I change it. So the same name is going to appear. Now, how to connect with my data? There is an option called select your data. If I go for it, then immediately this will be demanding. Where is my data? Data, I'll just take all the department and the head counts. I will not select the header. And immediately what will be happening? It will be showing you have selected 6 rows and 2 columns. And once it is done, then I'll go and select the create option. And once I go for selecting create with immediate effect, you can see over here, as it is the same data, whatever I had, everything is populated with the exact data link. Now, this is headcount related data, HR related data. I can use human resource icon or human related icons over here. I told you the other one, how to create this kind of $back symbol if I have a revenue data. See the beauty. I will go to the same application and I will go for that settings tab. Here I have a shape button. If I go for shape, there is a shape called $back. And when I go for the $back symbol, can you see with immediate effect, I'm getting the $back symbols over here. So this is how people nowadays, the people wants to see this kind of presentations the most. So you have a ready-made add-in if you are there in 2013 and above versions of Excel. And the same, if you wish, you can take a snapshot and carry and present in PowerPoint also. It's up to you. Anyway, so anybody who is having that, but it is not working or Office 365 can share your screen. Suppose say I would like to go for Anju, could you please share your screen? Let me have a look. The others also can check it out.
No, it's working now. It's working now. I saw
Okay,
that.
great. So Mayuresh, could you please share your screen? Let us see.
Sure. I'll just do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, you have that
Okay.
green color symbol. Green color symbol.
I
Yeah.
have, but when I click click on this, I'm getting this Office 365 has been configured to prevent individual acquisition.
Okay, okay, great. So you go to that my add-ins, go to the my add-ins, you close this. Yeah, this window you select and delete. Just press the delete button. Okay. You go to my add-ins. In that section only my add-ins is there. Yeah.
Okay.
Go for see all. Okay,
Okay.
go for store, third tab, store in the top. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So you got to take your administrator rights from the IT
Administrator.
department. Okay.
Sure, I'll do that. Yeah.
So you will be getting a lot many options. It's not only about one add-in, there are a lot many in Office 365. Even it is more enriched features are there. So you can connect with that. All right.
Sure.
So this is how people, let me take back the control on the screen. Okay. So this is how you can make use of this kind of add-ins over here, and you can make your presentations even more better. So these are the different visuals options we do have in our Microsoft Excel. So
Can
it's
you
sort of,
just
yeah.
quickly show me once again, because I just lost in the middle of searching it. Just I got the head count.
Okay.
Yeah, the dollar one also, similar way. I
Okay.
did not see the dollar one. Where is
Right.
it?
Dollar, you can select the application in the top right corner. There is a settings gear button kind of option is there.
Yeah.
If you click that, then there is a shape button over here. Shape.
Yeah.
If you see,
Yeah.
there is a dollar back symbol is there.
Yeah.
You can click that and it will be automatically changing there.
Okay.
Right. Yes, Tushar, can you share your screen, please? Let me have a look.
Yeah, same as I can see the add-in, but I was just following you, so I went to store, but then it was difficult to find. So just help me out.
Yeah, please share your screen. Let me have a look.
Can you see?
Not
I have
yet.
to show you on my desktop, right?
Yeah, desktop.
Can you see?
It's getting loaded. Yeah, you can go to Excel.
I see I had come to this page.
Yeah, there you write in the search box, type people graph. People space graph. In the left side, search box is there in the top. Yeah, people space graph. And the moment you search, the very first icon will be there, green color icon, people graph.
All right.
Yeah, you go for add. Click on the add button.
Sign in is required for that.
Yeah, you need to sign in on that, because unless and until you do that, it will not be connecting to the Microsoft Office server. Don't worry, that sign in option later you can do and practice, but this is what the sole objective,
Alright.
how to do that. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Fine then. So I'm taking the control back on the screen over here, and we have seen how to use all these visualization styles, whatever we have, one naming called data bars, spark lines. Then we have seen the icon sets, and finally the add-in called our people graph. So any doubt, any queries from the data visualization side, people, anybody? Whenever we are presenting our data, okay, if you want to showcase something as a trend line, what do we do? Okay. Now, suppose say I'm showing my 5 years data over here. Assume for the time being, no need to do anything. Just look at my screen. So I want to take your expert opinion on this. So I have got 5 years data. Take it as headcount or revenue, anything you can name it. Now, I have the numbers in place, huge numbers. I want to present it effectively. So basically in category one, last 5 years, how the trend of my business, how the trend of that product, how the revenue trend, I want to showcase it. See the best option. Immediately we go for selecting the data and we plot a graph. See how it is overloaded. Can you see that? And if you want to showcase in the form of a chart, again, data is in different place. And if I go for change chart type, going to bar option over here, presenting it this kind of options, then is it showing proper clarity on this? Okay. So instead of doing all these things and struggling around, what is the best option? I'll tell you one, what people prefers to see the most also, just look at my screen. So if I go for Excel naming called visual, okay, see the beauty. No need to do anything, just see the beauty over here. You can let it try also, you know that how to do it. See, I have selected one particular products or categories, last 5 years results selected. Going to over here, insert, there is a sparkline again, but now I'm going to take the line option. If I go for line over here, location range, yes, this is the first cell, I'll take it. Now same, I'll go and drag it down for the rest. And in the spark line, we have a very beautiful option called markers. Now see the beauty. People will love to see this and this. Nobody is interested reading your numbers and make out what is the story. So here the story speaks about the product. Like mostly compared to last year, business is down. Here consistently it is going down, which is the category 11. It is a serious thing for me. Why it is a situation like this? Then there is a growth in case of category number 5 compared to last 2 years. It is a good sign for the company prospect. And category 8 is consistently making good business for me. So this is how, either if you look at category 8 or category 11, it is just giving a opposite reactions to each other. So this is how you can present your data effectively and people will love to see and make out the information. What say? Do you agree with me? Simple options, but making a huge difference at your workplace. So taking the live data, make a practice and present it in this format. Trust me, whoever is watching your window, they are going to appreciate your work. And as I was telling you, all this information are very vital whenever you are creating a dashboard, summary report, tabular report, there you need the most. And the beauty of all these options are they are not going to occupy much of your space, unlike your charts. So that's where they are making it different. Anyways, so this is it from our day 2 side, people. So let's have a quick recap what we did in our day 2. So we started with
Just 1 second before you do that. Just one, I've got a bit left behind. So when you did that people graph, right? You kind of selected the graph, that button, and then the whole whatever the thing pops up, and then the title I was able to change. But
Okay.
how did you select the data in that?
Yeah, you go to the first icon. First icon is changing the data. See, if you go for the first icon, this is the first icon, data
Right.
icon. So if you go to the data icon, it will be giving you this box. So there you
Right.
can change the title. And if you want to connect with your data, you have to go for select your data. And then
Okay.
you have to locate like this. You have to select. So it will be
Okay,
showing
nice.
you have selected 6 rows and 2 columns. Then you have to click the create button.
Okay.
Right.
So it has to be along with the description and the value, not just the value.
Yeah, obviously. Description will, otherwise, how you will be creating the series, how people will know that otherwise. You're presenting the values.
Right, makes sense.
Yeah. Yes, people. So what we did today, let us have a quick recap. We started with our data cleansing techniques. If you have the errors in place, how to handle those errors. If you have the blanks in place, what should be the treatment for the blanks. Then we have seen working with our SAP driven records, how to confirm that the numbers are there in number format or not. If it is not, then how to clean them. Then rest, we have seen how to see that our date is in proper date format or not. If it is not in date format, how to clean the data. Then how to convert any format to general format with a keyboard shortcut, Control Shift and tilde button. Then we have seen data clean 3, that if you have the data in consistent format, but it is not in a proper clean format, to clean the same, we can use a data artificial intelligence tool of ours in Excel is called Flash Fill. The keyboard shortcut Control E, and the same we find in our home tab Fill, Flash Fill, or data menu Flash Fill. 4 rules I told you about Flash Fill, very informative and as well as important. So you have to always remember those rules if at all you want to go for Flash Fill. And even if you want to use Flash Fill to extract your numbers, how to store your numbers by with apostrophe, and it helps you to store anything with apostrophe as a text will be stored. And then we have seen where Flash Fill fails, how to combine multiple formulas, create a nested formula with the logic and get your data asked over here. And then I have also told you there the various ways to apply the Flash Fill options and various places where you can apply the Flash Fill options we have discussed. Then we have seen the data filling technique. Whenever you have the data having a regular intervals of blank cells, to make it ready with no time, we have seen selecting the data, blanks, just going for Control G or F5, special blanks, then equal to previous cell, Control Enter. Then we have seen how to present our data differently, like your regular sorting and all those things. Instead of doing that, how to present it effectively by converting the data into table, adding the subtotal, and the beauty is adding the slicers to the data so that it will be acting like a visual filter buttons, and you can operate or control the data from the outside of the data range area. Well, next we have seen when you have multiple data sets in place, how to apply filter button to them by simply going to our data, selecting the same and using Control T, T for Tango, to convert your data into table, and you can have multiple filters over there with multiple data sets. Then we have seen various visualization techniques. One is our data bars from conditional formatting. Then we have seen the sparklines from insert. Then we have seen home tab conditional formatting icon sets and how to customize that according to the need, that also we discussed. And then finally, we have seen the add-in, how to use this people graph and give a new flavor to your data presentation in terms of your dashboards and all. You will be getting that view. So this is from our day 2 side. Any doubt, any queries, people?
Can this paper graph be further customized, Prabhas? Like, for example, if you want the header to be in a specific way, and so on?
No, that is whatever the control options, it is there in those 2 buttons. So if you want to explore more, you have to go there, and whatever the options you have, that only you can do. So title only you have to just enter. There is nothing you can do much on this. So only thing is you have the option called shapes, themes. You can do the colorful changes on the themes, and you can use the types. What type of things you can use it over here, like this. You can give it over here the flavor, or this, or this.
Okay.
Right. Yes. So yeah.
Yeah, in data fill, I wanted to ask one thing. If you come to data fill,
Yeah.
the product description.
Yeah.
So if we have to select one product, we go to right click, filter, and
Yeah.
then we take the values, right?
Right.
But if the director asks for 2 products, then how do we do that? Like now one was for vanilla. If we say that vanilla and cocoa powder, in that case, then for 2 products, how do we select?
No, the 2 credentials you have to go for regular filter optional, because in mouse right click you don't get the privilege of multiple filter actions. So this is just for one criteria alone. If you want to filter, the mouse is the better option. But if you want to do more trial and error with the filter, you want to go for multiple filter icons, or you want to see multiple criteria filters on over there, then you have to go for regular filter buttons. There is no other options.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Yes, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yes. So Nora, what is that last option you told me? I missed out last visual chart. Which one you'd mean to? Is this the thing? All right. So any doubt or any queries? So I request everyone, people, the mistake what you did yesterday, please do not do for today. And you have got 7 days solid time to practice well and be ready for day 3 and day 4, because day 3 and day 4 we are going to use the same techniques somewhere or the other. Not it will be a repetition of topic, but yes, I told you individually all the topics in day 1, day 2, but when you are going to consolidating the same and working together in your data summarization, data analysis, and creating the dashboards and all those things, we need the most. So please be ready with practice. If you have any queries, make a note. So next Saturday, I mean upcoming Saturday, we have our day 3. We are going to discuss, no worries. But day 3, what we are going to have a discussion. Let me declare the agenda. We are going to discuss completely on data summarization and data analysis. Like when you have a huge data chunk, how to present your data effectively by using the data summarizing tool called pivot table. So what are the options or features, complete drill down features of pivot we are going to discuss. So it will take entire 4 hours. The whole day we are going to say, I mean the whole session we are going to discuss about in and around only pivot table case. So if you have any doubts or queries related to pivot table also, you can make a note and be ready with your query. We are going to discuss that. And I'm also going to tell you how to analyze the data like a professional in pivot table and presenting the same effectively to the target audience. And I'm also going to tell you how to design a dashboard, how to create a dashboard in pivot table over there, and how to connect multiple pivot table data in Excel file and controlling upon the same and present it effectively. All these things we are going to discuss in our day 3. So don't miss the class, and whatever it takes. I know you might be having some commitments, but please, you need to sacrifice. Then only you can learn things better way. So be ready, practice well. I'm there to support. Don't worry about it. All right. So can I take a serious
Yes,
commitments
thank
from your side, people? Because I need it. Because if you do not practice, I cannot come back again to day 1, whatever the topics we discussed. I cannot come back and I keep other people idle over there. So gradually, I'll tell you the speed is also going to increase. Day 1 to day 2, you would have seen we have gradually increased the speed. That is necessary. Day 1, I did not increase because we have to bring everyone to the equal page. But day 2, day 3, day 4, and day 4 will be in our peak speed. But don't worry, it's not something I will be ignoring and I'll be trying to cover the topics. But yes, you have to give more focus. All right. So
Prakash, I have one question.
please.
It's just out of curiosity. I think somewhere in your presentation or in one of your slides you had mentioned Jarvis tool. Maybe a few words on what is that?
Well,
Or it's all of the stack. I mean, I don't know. So
see, there are two things. Jarvis tool, I call it as Jarvis. Why I named it, have you seen the Hollywood movie called Iron Man? Have you seen?
yes,
Well,
yes,
the robot, the scientist, Mr. Stark, he is having a robot, in-house robot in his lab, and he names
right,
as a Jarvis. So whatever the
right.
impossible things, it was making it possible for him. So like that, that's why I call it as Excel Jarvis tool is nothing but the flash fill. This is one. So flash fill, one of the Jarvis tool. The other one, what we go for it, just a demonstration purpose, I can showcase to you is over here. The moment we go for our Excel tool, just give me a second. I will come up with that. So going to, yeah. So actually, I name a tool. I have created a tool for one of the company called Nokia. You would have known about that. Nokia, no more is picture, but yes, once upon a time they were the major global share in the telecom industries. I mean, the telephone handset, 65% of the global share. But all of a sudden, over a period of time, what happened? They were completely wiped out from the market. You know why? Anybody?
Change. They haven't changed themselves.
Right.
Change is the only thing is constant.
So what is the takeaway from, what is the summary from, what is the moral from Nokia story? Anybody can explain? What you have learned?
Always learn new things. Always change yourself. That is the biggest thing.
Always upgrade your skill according to the demand, according to the world. So in the high speed, in the high pace of this world, in the competitive world, if you do not upgrade your skill to the next level, you will be always been lagging behind. So that is what the stories moral from that. Okay. So here, this is what I call it as one of the Jarvis tool again. See, I name it as search engine. I have got region wise, these are the products manufacturing by Nokia once upon a time. And this is what the month wise, whatever the sales they have made. Now you just name it, any region, any product, or for any month, how much is the sales, you name it, I will immediately have it for you. Yeah, anybody? Which region you want to see?
India.
India. I'll go for India. Immediately, all the India related records alone will be displayed. And this is the total of India. Now, India, if you want to know whichever the product starts with N, I want to see. So I'll go to product category. I just type N. I'm not doing anything. Everything on my criteria when I define, my tool is so robust enough to give the data India related N product where it starts with everything over here. Now, India country product starts with N for the month of April, whatever. So month, I'll go and type APR, all these records immediately. It is stored on the screen. So anybody who wish to see the individual records, they can see. And this is the total in the top. And tomorrow, if at all any new things comes up, I delete all this criteria. Again, data is restored. See the beauty. So all this, again, AI tools, options we can create in Excel. So these are called, we call it as Jarvis tools. Okay.
Prabhas, will
Yeah.
you be teaching us how to make this?
No.
Okay. Okay.
If you want, if you want, I can teach you, but that will be taking a time of half an hour. If you are ready to commit another half an hour after 6 o'clock, if you do not have any other commitments, then I am ready to teach you, not an issue, but not in this regular guaranteed 16 hours. It is very difficult because we have got a lot of contents to cover. But if you are having an interest, I don't mind spending half an hour from my side if you are having interest. So it's up to you.
Actually,
Yeah,
that's right.
I would like to know
Fine.
that
So
because I think I can use it in my work.
anybody, it's not only you, anybody can use that.
Yeah.
So whenever you have a master data, instead of creating all the time multiple tables or using control F, instead of doing that, just give your criteria, things will be ready. And trust me, you are going to surprise with that tool to anybody. People will be surprised. How many tables you have created? Whenever I'm asking anything over phone, you have got the ready-made information. So that's what we are making the beauty on this. Don't worry, mark my words. On day 4, half an hour, we are going to spend post 6 o'clock exactly to learn how to create such kind of search engine. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
Welcome, no problem. See, as long as you have the interest, I am also ready to devote my time. I don't mind because I love to teach.
Actually, Prabhas, when you also get a lot of files, right, coming to you, you're also trying to analyze the data in different ways. So these sort of quick tips kind of help you validate different stuff and then get you to pull what you want from it. So that would be great.
Of course,
Thanks,
definitely,
Prabhas.
definitely. All right, people. So I believe if the doubts and everything are clear, shall we call it as a day?